Yeah, I was completely unaware that my fan was on. Oh man, I want to check out with these reviews. Not reviews, I'm sorry. Typically I do reviews, but I want to see what these reactions say. Camera's a little weird because I keep moving. There we go. There we go. Let's see what they are. Now you've seen the trailer so far, so start off with Jeremy Jones.
I just woke up. Do I have bags under my eyes? Great. But YouTube waits for no one because we have the trailer to Avengers Doomsday. It's pretty much the CinemaCon trailer for Avengers Doomsday, which I'm shocked didn't drop earlier. The fact that we got it right before San Diego Comic-Con means at San Diego Comic-Con you guys are probably going to get something else. Something special. I don't know. So this trailer has voiceover pretty much being like, guys, I know you face some important stuff, but this is more important. As Thor being like, I fought with warriors and they died facing something that doesn't scare me as much as this man in green. Deadpool should pop in right there and be like, don't worry, Feige has a way of bringing him back. Really, this trailer does what it needs to do. You know, it shows you some imagery, some nostalgia, shows you a bit of Doctor Doom, but not so much of Doctor Doom that you're like, okay, I feel like I've seen all of Doctor Doom. Like the full body shot of Doctor Doom's kind of in the distance, so you see what he looks like, but not a real good look of what he looks like. You can find that stuff online, but not in this trailer. You see some characters you didn't expect to be here, but are here. Like I know the X-Men are in this movie. We all know they're in here, but seeing them in the trailer just hits different. I hope the movie doesn't learn all the wrong lessons from Deadpool and Wolverine. I hope it's not Doom and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine absolutely worked for a Deadpool movie, but for an Avengers movie with Doctor Doom, I definitely want more than, hey, here's a trip down nostalgia lane for 2 hours or 3 or however long this is gonna be. There are a lot of characters in this movie though, so that does kind of concern me. A concern that a trailer like this helps you forget with moments like that. You remember that axe that Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet couldn't stop? Doom like it's nothing. But I do feel like in the CinemaCon trailer when Thor brought Stormbreaker down on Doom and Doom's just like, bing, blocks it like he's Curly blocking Mo. So Three Stooges. Yep. Whatever. Those guys were awesome. Did I say were past tense? I mean are. I feel like, again, about human memory. It's been months at this point, but in the CinemaCon trailer, I remember Thor bringing the axe down and then Doom just blocking it, and that's when it went black. I don't remember Thor having his push through it moment while Doom glares at him like Thor just made a dad joke. Is that how you all look when I have dad jokes in my videos? Whatever. I do not apologize for it. Admittedly, I do like this though, because you get a good shot of Doom's eyes. A quick shot. But with the internet, you can frame by frame it. Doom's eyes glaring through that mask is just iconic imagery to me for Doctor Doom. I will say, if we didn't get the Steve Rogers trailer that again was bootlegged, then AI'd, and then turned out to be real, that was on Avatar Fire and Ash, that moment, that reveal in this trailer when Mjolnir flies through the air and snaps right to Captain America, who I guess doesn't technically have the job anymore. Steve Rogers. People still call retired military personnel by their positions they held upon retirement, so whatever. But that moment would have hit so much harder if the reveal was in this trailer. Though yeah, people at CinemaCon would have already talked about it, but I don't know, maybe don't show that part in CinemaCon then. But they're not changing the release date at all. It's still coming out the same day as Dune Part 3. Prepare for Infinity Vision. They have Infinity Vision. Who needs IMAX? Yes, in the great IMAX war where IMAX definitely earned some money, and the IMAX in Seattle said, hey, we're not going to show movies anymore, just documentaries like it's the 90s, which is so stupid. But it is Seattle. Don't go to Seattle looking for good decision making. So they announced Infinity Vision at CinemaCon also, and you see the logo here. Infinity Vision, shown in Infinity Vision. What is that? It's a format standard to ensure that the screens are great, the screens are big, they're bright, the projectors are good, and the sound sounds good. Is it new? No, it's just saying this auditorium that would have looked and sounded this way is going to actually look and sound this way. They get to slap a logo on it and probably charge you more money. Stupid, but probably effective. That'd be epic if fans were like, you know what, I'm gonna watch it in every format except Infinity Vision. You can't replace IMAX. Like, they can't just come up with a new logo on already existing tech and screens and say it's new. Avengers Doomsday teaser trailer. It's on the internet now. Glad you all saw it. It's the CinemaCon trailer redo, but it does what a teaser trailer's supposed to do. Some nostalgic characters, some cool moments, illustrate that the big bad this time around, Doctor Doom, is the biggest threat they've ever faced. You may have Ant-Man on your team, and sure, maybe he took down Kang. Sorry, Mr. Lang, I don't think an army of ants is gonna take this one down. But don't leave your food out at night just in case. Give me that look, I don't care. The most annoying thing about Avengers Doomsday is, well, it's nothing about Avengers Doomsday, really, is that in any given Doom scroll I ever do, no pun intended, a Doom scroll, I know that I can see an article headline talking about something new that we're gonna see in Avengers Doomsday, or someone who's in Avengers Doomsday. Or these characters are gonna interact with these characters, or these characters are gonna fight each other. But we're in the age of information, you know, so there's this whole race for information, to get information out there and leaks out there so you can be the cool one for half a day. I feel like I'm gonna feel like I've already seen the movie based on headlines to articles I haven't even read. Stop at the cloud chasing. Let the movie keep some surprises. I think it's dumb. I think possibly Deadpool does too. Alright, so the Avengers Doomsday trailer, it's finally here. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.
Alright, thank you. Yeah, I gotta refresh this because I've added new videos to it, as you can see. Check this one out.
Hey, are you busy? Yeah, extremely busy. Avengers Doomsday full trailer just hit the timeline. I thought they already did a bunch of trailers where Captain America stands there like holding a baby and Patrick Stewart looks at a chess piece. Those are teaser trailers, you idiot. Just watch. I thought Professor X died like 5 times already. One more time we'll do the trick. Oh, Werner Herzog is playing the bad guy. I love that. Look, it's the people. Thor looks normal again. Do you think all those guys are standing in the room at the same time? There's no way, right? Look, there's Shang-Chi and Gambit. They're fighting each other. Oh, wow, that's random. There's Loki. There's Shuri. There's Loki. There's Florence Pugh. Doctor Doom just stopped Thor's axe with his hand. Is Doctor Doom a guy who's been around? Around? What do you mean? Like he's just been around? Yeah, has he been around like in the shows or something? No. Wait, you're gonna love this part. Hey, pal. Huh? No, I told you, I already saw him in a trailer holding a baby. Is he playing Cap or just Chris Evans? Because it kind of looks like Chris Evans just showed up one day to set. Whatever, dude. It's Infinity Vision. Dune took all of the IMAX screens, so they're marketing this thing called Infinity Vision, so they can charge the IMAX screens. Oh, this is playing in theaters? That's cool. It's gonna make so much money. Oh, definitely. What's wrong? You don't seem that excited. It just feels random. There's no build-up. The trailer's just a bunch of characters from older, better movies standing around. Have faith. Once they finish writing the script, there's no stopping the movie.
Make sure you watch my Dr. Doom unboxing after you're done watching this reaction. Now, Ryan, don't need to play the game. Bars, album dropping next week. Pre-order now. All right, the time has arrived. Let's get it.
Yes.
Something's coming. Reaction. We may not be able to deter before this day is done. I like the voice. We shall be faced with an unthinkable decision. All right, off to a good start. I fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Nice. Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles. Presume nothing except this. If you return. The weird speckly look to his skin. Has brothers and sisters. Mark my words.
we knew they were all going to atone. Even what's his name? That the Spanish Aquaman. I'm gonna call him that.
We're going to need a miracle. Hey, pal. Steve, impossible.
Fucked it up, I always did. Fuck it up every goddamn time. Every goddamn time. Every goddamn time.
An infinity vision. All right, well, trailer looked good. And I didn't see anything that pissed me off. An infinity vision.
What is infinity vision? What is that? What is that? All right, well, trailer looked good. And I didn't see anything that pissed me off. So, hey, I'm ready. I just hope everything is as good as, I hope it's good. Because I think it's their last chance. But I hope it's good. Ain't really got nothing to say. I'm very happy with Doom's look and his voice. I'm very happy with that. So, let's see it all in motion. Let's see Robert Downey Jr. actually playing the character. The voiceover and a few shots of the look is a little different than seeing it in motion, seeing it in action. That's what I want to see. But now, this appears to be very promising. And now I can't wait to see what their explanation is of why he looks like Tony. I assume he's some form of some variant. But I love the voice and I really like the look. So they nailed that. I'm ready. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed my reaction and comments, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share with a friend. 10 million subscribers. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I need to record.
6.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm recording about the Avengers.
1.
No, you can't see. Charles Xavier.
Something's coming.
Man, how many times are they gonna kill this guy? Whose voice is this? Oh, baby. Interesting. Interesting.
I've fought with many warriors.
I like that. Little new Avengers design. There we go.
Far stronger than all of us put together. And they died.
Ooh, Namor on the throne.
And threats. They scared me far less.
Now the color grading's a little different. The video keeps getting blocked, so I'm gonna put this right in the middle and see if it gets blocked again. If it gets blocked again, it's not going up. Right, Riley? Okay. Different than I expected. Ooh, baby. Come on now! Heard about that from a few months ago. My boy Loki.
Do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles.
Oh, cool, dude. Oh, freaking sweet.
Gives you nothing except this.
This must be the trailer they've already played, but...
His mom has brothers and sisters.
Boom, baby. Look at that shot.
You mark my words.
Come on, dude. Come on! Back to the Thor we know and love.
We're going to need a miracle.
Is it Steve? Oh, it's Steve.
It's not possible.
Plain shirt Steve Rogers? Come on, baby. There he is. They're just doing their best to get me, aren't they? Infinity Vision. What is that? Actually, it's Doomsday, not Doomsday. All right, Doomsday. Okay. Fine. You got me. Look. You got me. I'm so easily swayed. I mean, look, Shang-Chi versus Gambit looks incredible. Thor taking on Doom. That is the Thor that we got in Infinity War. That's the Thor that we got in Ragnarok. That's the Thor I've been missing, man. Where's that guy been? We get a shot of Magneto and Professor X. I mean, we get all of these remarkable, like, comic book moments. And, you know, I've been a little hesitant because I'm like, I don't know. Are these characters, are we going to feel like they warrant another Avengers team-up movie? I still don't really know, but it looks pretty impressive. And I'm actually impressed. It looks, from a color grading standpoint, a little better than even I anticipated. There's a distinct look to it that kind of separates it from Endgame and Infinity War. We know the Russo brothers are returning. We know this is going to be a gigantic team-up movie, and obviously they're hiding a bunch of stuff, man. I mean, where's Toby? All right, Toby's got to be in there somewhere. I think that looks cool. Is it, is it the Infinity War trailer? Does it have those types of moments? Not necessarily. I mean, we kind of knew Steve Rogers was coming back based on the concept art that we got a couple of weeks ago. You see Robert Downey. You get a tease and a taste of his version of Doom. And I really like what I'm seeing so far. That is very distinct and different from his Tony Stark, from his Iron Man. That's cool. That's what I want to see. More of this, please. I think they got me a little more excited. I'll be honest with you, man. This is really cool. Childhood me, growing up reading comics. I mean, I think to one of the Doctor Doom stories where Doctor Doom basically goes through and just mows through everyone and kills everyone. That's one of my all-time favorites. I'm getting a little bit of that vibe here because, you know, things are going to turn out poorly. We could be in for a very Infinity War ending here. Overall, very cool. Can't wait to see what happens. Can't wait to go upstairs and tell my daughter how psyched I am. She may or may not have seen Spider-Man Homecoming, even though she's 3 years old. I know, but come on. I got to get her motivated and psyched for whenever she can see Doomsday years down the road. All right, thanks for watching. And yeah, man, that was cool.
Get your chow bags ready. Hollywood is about to feed you the biggest heaping helping of slop they've had on hand for years. Avengers Doomsday is coming. I know, a lot of people...
You see how he's already calling it slop? You see that?
Looking forward to this. And I don't mean to yuck your yum. The superhero movies do basically nothing for me other than Logan, some of the Batman movies.
Why is your punk ass watching it then? If you don't like movies, let alone superhero movies, just leave. Just quit making reviews. Just stop. Stick to politics, Michael Knowles. Just stay out of this niche.
Movies, and look, I'll get into my own hangups another time. Avengers Doomsday is going to be the superhero movie to end all superhero movies. It stars everyone, including Robert Downey Jr., who's going to play Doctor Doom, even though he's supposed to. I thought he was Iron Man, and I don't know, whatever. And it's going to be a bunch of these guys. The production budget is going to be $400 million, maybe more. The marketing budget is going to be $300 million. That means that this movie has to do $1.5 billion at the box office in order to break even.
Bitch, it comes out in fucking December. Dude, this is July. You ain't got no right to be talking about box office right now. It ain't fucking theaters, dumbass.
Oh, Okay.
I think they're spending $250 million just on the cast. So, we have the first trailer out of Avengers Doomsday. I will bring all of my massive expertise on the Marvel Cinematic Universe to bear to analyze what this movie is about.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision. I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats.
So you got X-Men.
It scared me far less
The Black
than this one.
Panther movie. Is that Thor?
Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together.
Daily Wire is going to make me go see this, I bet.
Put aside your pain.
Ben Davies is going to make me go see this. I don't know who the blue people are. Is that Avatar?
Presume
Is Avatar part of the Marvel Universe?
if you return.
Ian McKellen's great.
Return has brothers and sisters.
Kathy Lee Gifford. Who's that actress?
But mark my words. We're going to need a miracle. Hey, pal. It's not possible.
What do you want to bet he's not even going to say "pow" when the movie actually comes out?
Yeah. Wow. I realized what my problem with this is, and I was prescient when I said to get your feedbacks on. I didn't plan for my conclusion to be my premise. What a perfect syllogism this is. My problem with these movies, yeah, I don't really care about a lot of the superhero stories, but some superhero stories I like Batman I like, but maybe I like Batman more because it's more realistic, like his superpower is just being really rich, so it's a little bit more realistic. I like the Wolverine story. I like some of the stories. Superman's okay. I guess my problem with these kinds of Marvel movies is that the best they can come up with now is not to make a new story, not to make a new superhero or some new character or whatever. The best they can do is just to create a slop bowl. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has become the millennial slop bowl of movies, such that, you know, the slop bowls that you guys, really my generation that did it, those Zoomers eat them too. It used to be, back in the olden days, when you go to lunch, you'd get a sandwich or a salad, or I don't know, perhaps like a little piece of chicken or something. But now what you do is you just go to these slop restaurants and you say, yeah, here you go, here's my bucket, fill it with some goop and meat and some beans or something, and just slop it all up real good. And then if you have a handle, like 2 handles that I can affix to my ears, then I can just snarf it down like a hog, please. And that's what this is. Instead of saying, we have a new hero, he's, I don't know, Pufferfish Man or whatever. You know, we have Spider-Man and Ant-Man, and now we have Pufferfish Man. And you come up with some story about Pufferfish Man. Instead of that, they just say, no. You know all those other guys you like? We just throw them all together in a big bucket, slap it up, pigs. And so it's just going to be awful. It's just going to be totally unbearable. And I'm probably going to have to go see it to review it. And I dread that. I'm looking forward to the popcorn, especially if I can charge the company for it. But that movie's going to be terrible. Okay, bye. That was a great clip. Now, hold on. Subscribe, please.
Shut the fuck up.
The very day I upload a video re-review of Fantastic Four First Steps, they go ahead and release the trailer for Avengers Doomsday, so I'm having to literally record this video immediately after. So the very day I upload a video re-review of Fantastic Four First Steps.
Why did you even do that? Why we review it? Why?
They go ahead and release the trailer for Avengers Doomsday, so I'm having to literally record this video immediately after. And I'm just reacting to it off the cuff. Firstly, I'll say, it's about bloody time. We've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah, so you're
I'll just give you a few of my thoughts, really. From the very beginning, where we see Professor X reacting to some big explosion, and right to the very end, there are so many shots in this, so many sequences in this trailer that strongly suggest to me that the leak for the plot of this film that came out a few months back, and I talked about again recently, because there's been a couple of very similar leaks that have come out, and the second one with a bit more detail. It looks like the leak is pretty close to accurate, unfortunately. Because from the leak we know that the beginning of the movie starts with
what was the post X-Men?
Professor X reacting to the destruction of a world, of one of the other universes, one of the other Earths, and according to the leak, the world that's destroyed is destroyed by the X-Men on purpose. Because in the leak, at least, Deadpool and Wolverine have set an explosive to destroy that world, and that is the world of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. We see Doom for the first time, and I think the opening narration is actually...
Wait, that motherfucker.
I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Doom talking. I think it's Robert Downey Jr. speaking. We see the new Avengers HQ. We see the two new Avenger teams, because obviously there's the new Avengers, and then there's the new Avengers that formed in Thunderbolts. So there's the Sam Wilson Avengers, and then there's the Thunderbolts Avengers. We also see Paul Rudd is in there, of course, playing Ant-Man, and we get a shot of them meeting the Fantastic Four along with Thor. And this lines up with the post-credit scene from Thunderbolts. Then we have Thor delivering a long, inspiring speech. We have shots of the Wakandans, Black Panther, and then we have a few fights. We've got Gambit versus Shang-Chi. We get a shot of Cyclops. We see another shot of Doom. And then there is Loki and a card, a TVA card, that he is handing to someone in what looks like the house that Steve Rogers is living in with Peggy in the past. So that lines up with the leak. That lines up with the leak about how Loki goes and tells Steve to contact him.
Why am I signing
and that he can't stay in that timeline because it's going to get pruned. It's great to finally see the trailer, but what's also awful about it, and what's seriously anticlimactic, is that
signed in.
Unfortunately this confirms the leaks. And the plot from those leaks is terrible. I mean, it's just exposition.
Why are you signing me out, man? I don't like that shit.
Excuses for crossovers, right?
That makes
it's just a giant cameo fest. There's a lot of characters. I think there's something like 27 at least. How do you really do all those characters justice? How do you give them all sufficient focus? We see Yelena Belova, the new Black Widow, of course, from Thunderbolts, a character I quite like. And she's fighting the original Mystique, played by Rebecca Romijn, and she takes Yelena's form. So they have a fight. We see Professor X and Magneto together. And yeah, we have some shots then of the Fantastic Four and Anthony Mackie's character, Sam Wilson. Cyclops again, a few fights, and then of course we have
I don't know
fight them with Thor and Doom. So, I mean, look,
I'm sorry.
There is a twist in this film, which is that Doom's the bad guy. Who would have thought? Well, the fact that that's telegraphed from the title, but the characters don't know that for most of the film. At least from the leak, anyway, they seem to be trusting him. And then after Thor's big speech, and I'm really glad that this is serious Thor. This isn't joke Thor that we've had from Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder. So we're getting the serious, darker Thor back, which is great. And I think Chris Hemsworth is brilliant at that, bringing the gravitas of the character back. But we see him, and he's shocked to see Steve Rogers return. And Steve is able to hold his hammer. And the critical thing here is that you'll see is that Steve has a beard and longer hair. And the reason why that's critical is that, again, lines up with the leaks. That's the bad news, is that the leaks seem to be confirmed. The reason I say that is because, as we know from the first teaser, we see Steve living his life happily in the past, which was his happy ending from Endgame, okay? And he has no beard, and his hair is shorter. But now he's got a beard and longer hair. Now, why is that? Because the leaks are accurate. Because Loki, who gives him that card in his house, sends him to the universe 828, the universe of the Fantastic Four. That's what the leaks say. And so he lives with Peggy for a good few years there. And that's why he's aged. That's why he's got longer hair and a beard. So that's the bad news. At least we know what we're getting, But unfortunately, this is what this film is. Yeah, and a lot of people were hoping that the leaks were not accurate, but I'm not seeing anything here that suggests that the leaks were fake.
You can see we got a water tower here.
That's the problem. So much of this trailer lines up with what we got from the leaks. So that's the first Avengers Doomsday trailer.
Well, the water tower is in front of a bridge.
The first proper one. And we're 4 months to go till the film comes out. Of course, there's going to be more trailers released over the next little while. But yeah.
I think it's this way.
Oh well. Oh dear. I mean, the leaks are out there, and I've done a video on it, and I go through it pretty comprehensively. So there's no real story here. It's really just a succession of action plot beats, and then this happened, and then this happened. That's what it feels like. We have to.
Fuck you, man. Seriously. Like, you're just bored. You really don't see. These are what these reviewers really do. They hate on shit that's 4 months late. That's coming in roughly 4 months. Okay, if you wanna, like, just look at my calendar on my desktop. Look, this is August. Well, this is July. I'm sorry, I don't know why it's moved to August. July the 22nd, because we're in the AM. 21st if you're still behind, your different time zone. But 21st, 22nd of July. I cannot believe the 4th of July was roughly 3 weeks ago? I was about 2.5, 3, whatever, 3 weeks ago. I can't believe it. But look, July, August. So August to September, September to October, October to November, November to December. August, September, October, November. So I'm gonna look at it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. That is 7 minutes less than the time of the Odyssey, December 18th, 2026. Once again, I'm looking at my calendar. Actually, let me get you a bigger calendar. I'm probably going to have to, let me get you a bigger calendar. I hope it doesn't show all my business, but anyway, look at this. 22nd of July. So 1 August, September, October, November, December. What does it say? December the 8th? December 18th. We've got about August to September, September to October, October to November, November to December, July to August, August, September, September to October, October to November, November to December. We get about 5 months, give or take. 4 months and 2 weeks, 4 months and 3 weeks, I'm not sure. I'm not going to give you an exact count, but we get about 5 months, okay, until the release date. And people are already trying to hate it. Like, why? Fuel pot leak, it's bad. Oh, yeah. He has a little plot. I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to watch it.
To do this because that, and it just goes on and on and on. They're battling incursions. You know, they're battling against it. Multiverse plot device MacGuffin thing. That's all this really is. Their plan is to go to different universes, according to the leaks, to set up these cannons or something to help stop the incursions, and it's all basically a ruse by Doom, and he defeats them all. He kills them all, resurrects them, and creates Battle World. It's like a really bad Infinity War, and it ends very similarly. Very similarly, with Doom winning. In the same way that Thanos won at the end of Infinity War, and then Secret Wars being the conclusion.
I can't keep up with all these motherfucking people.
Yeah, so I was kind of hoping that maybe... I didn't have high hopes, but I was... Maybe that we'd have a surprise. But there's nothing in this that surprises me one little bit. Not one little bit. There you go. Those are my thoughts on the trailer, just real quick. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's not possible.
Well, the Doomsday trailer has finally arrived, which means we've got the X-Men back. We've got Thor, Captain America, and Doctor Doom. But it also means we've got all these other characters as well. You remember the Thunderbolts and these other people, right?
Imagine Red Guardian riding on top of Sentry, cresting over the clouds.
This is why we have Avengers are busy.
And the Doomsday trailer leans heavily on the concept of the multiverse and the assembling of whatever is left of the Avengers and the old X-Men to face Doomsday, with Thor taking the lead, and he's back to being serious Thor, while Steve Rogers is back as, I guess, just Steve Rogers.
I am Steve Rogers.
But somehow this trailer looked good at times and underwhelming. This is going to be the biggest movie ever, or at least it should be. It has the biggest budget. It's the only chance Disney has at fixing things. The reveal of Doom didn't land for me, though, as much as I hoped. Even the Thor scene felt a little weird, and maybe it's less about the trailer and what Marvel did to their characters over the last few years. Because there's a reason they need Doomsday to save everything.
Can we just be done with the whole multiverse thing? It's not great. It's just been miss after miss after miss.
There's a reason why the X-Men and other characters from the past are back, to reset the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because Disney wants to dominate the box office with Marvel once again. And this trailer is the first step on their real desperate plan to achieving that goal. But was it enough to get people interested in the first place?
They were far stronger than all of us put together.
But how did Marvel end up here in this desperate situation? Well, they did it to themselves, because it really was the end game, where they used time travel to defeat Thanos. A movie that made billions of dollars, but has massive problems. A movie they are literally going to change and release this fall for Doomsday. A movie you have to re-watch. That's right, Endgame, if you own it on DVD, will never be the same.
The whole time travel do-over?
Think about that. One of the most successful movies of all time, in terms of box office numbers, has to be changed to fix things, because the past 6 years were so bad. They have to somehow use the multiverse to make you forget shows like She-Hulk or movies like Thor: Love and Thunder. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Whatever it takes to delete Secret Invasion.
Trash.
I truly believe that where they went wrong was just from the concept on with Marvel Endgame. It's like they looked at that title and said, this needs to be the end, even though it wasn't, present, and there was more shows and movies coming out post Endgame than came out in the decade before. So when they were writing the script, there really wasn't a plan for after Endgame, which is why Endgame was the end of the story for Captain America, Iron Man, and Black Widow. Or so we thought. Now here we are with Doomsday. But during Endgame, they didn't really have a plan for afterwards. They wanted to get rid of Captain America and hand the shield to someone else. So now Steve Rogers is back as just a dude, even though fans know him as Captain America. And Sam, who everyone loved as Falcon, is now masquerading as Captain America. His movie flopped at the box office, and fans want to see Steve Rogers as Captain America, but that's not what we're getting in Doomsday, which just feels like they're making the same mistakes all over again.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Black Widow is actually gone, apparently, but Iron Man, who made the ultimate sacrifice in Endgame, by far the best part of the movie, because he was indeed Iron Man. He was the guy willing to do anything to save his friends. Well, Robert Downey Jr. is back, but is he Iron Man? Is he Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom? Will other people recognize him? These are the problems. These are the desperate questions. But all this came from Endgame because there was no plan for future heroes afterwards. Oh, also, Loki comes back from Infinity War in Endgame, except it's a different one, and there we are, the multiverse problem that Marvel tried to deny for years.
Wow. No, there's no problem.
Because he...
I'm sorry.
Wow.
The people at Marvel, as viewership failed, and their movies flopped at the box office.
No, there's no problem.
Because see, it wasn't a problem to them. It was a cash cow because they could replace anybody with anyone. There were no stakes anymore. So in their mind, they could just make anyone Iron Man. But that's a problem for fans, even if the people at Marvel don't understand that.
So preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
And that's the real problem that was introduced in Endgame and became the focal point of Marvel. Time travel in the multiverse, because no one's ever really gone. It's where things got really weird. And it's why they have to somehow fix Marvel by getting rid of the multiverse. Because there needs to be stakes again. It's silly that some things work for time travel and some things don't. And then the multiverse has some people that are the same, but some people are different.
We have experience of the multiverse.
Gross.
But before we dive into that Marvel slop era that came from the multiverse, there's one more thing from Endgame that was introduced that we have to mention. The scene. This wasn't organic. It wasn't all the women characters working together to keep the gauntlet away, which would have been really cool if they were like handing it off one by one, fighting together to fight Thanos as he ran it down, where they couldn't really beat Thanos, but they were just doing what Black Panther and Spider-Man had been doing, just playing keep away. Instead, we got this pose. We got them all lining up together, the army separated. It wasn't natural. It didn't make sense. It was so they could have their photo op. It was for a year in time, and it takes you out of the movie. It's one of the worst scenes in history, but it was the beginning of that Marvel slop era because stuff like this became important to Marvel.
Not a great plan.
And they lost money because of it. They focused on movies and shows with characters that people didn't really care about. And it led to Doomsday because they're hoping you will erase the slop era from your memory.
It is over. The evil is gone.
Then why is it not gone from in here?
But these nightmares still haunt me. Starting with the big waste of money. The Marvel Disney Plus era. Shows that ranged from characters we like to characters we don't really know, to characters we hate, to characters we don't want to watch in shows. And we had a bunch of shows that had big blockbuster movie style budgets. But no one really watched any of the Marvel Disney Plus shows. And the most liked shows, Loki for example, brought in the entire TVA and multiverse problem to a whole new level. It's why we find ourselves at Doomsday. But you apparently need to watch Loki to get Doomsday. That's not good. That's homework. And using the multiverse to get rid of the multiverse could make Doomsday really bad and really confusing for the normal fan.
Confusion is but the first step on the journey to knowledge.
That's why it is desperate to bring Robert Downey Jr. back to play Doom when he was Iron Man, and he might be Iron Man again, but he's definitely playing Dr. Doom. And to understand what he's going to do as Doom, like I said, you should have watched Loki, and you'll have to watch Endgame in theaters this fall. But is this really a great plan to give people homework?
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
But why didn't people watch these Marvel shows on Disney Plus? Some say they failed because they were TV shows and Marvel had never done that. They always had movies that created an event atmosphere. You couldn't miss one. And the shows deflated that excitement because they were out every week. But other people might argue that no one watches Disney Plus regardless, and the platform is the problem. And if the shows were out on Netflix, maybe people would have watched them. I, on the other hand, have a different take. The quality and character choices, like the entire concepts of what shows they did and why they chose to to do them, along with the writing on those Disney Plus Marvel shows, was so bad. It was such a terrible decision and such terrible execution that's why these shows suffered bad viewership. The story choices alone were anything but good versus evil. There was no great battle that we needed Avengers for. The conflict in these shows was wasted on pointless story beats for the most part. There were condescending scenes written by condescending writers who lacked the understanding of the real world.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
These shows couldn't be relatable because the writers of these shows don't live in reality. They live on Reddit forums and on Twitter. Their only perspective of life is from the internet and the latest hot button topic they're told to care about this month before it changes next month. They know nothing of the real world and their writing showed it. But at the end of the day, no one watched those terrible shows, so you could really forget the Marvel Disney Plus era. You could just sweep it away.
Awesome.
But Marvel and Disney can't hide from the movies from this slop multiverse era. They're not so easily forgotten because people did see them, and that's not a good thing. Because the movies we got didn't just have problems. They either changed characters we loved or wasted characters. They used characters we didn't really care about. They turned our heroes into villains or cowards, or just they made them dumb.
Sorry, we've been fighting lately.
Something they're clearly trying to fix for Doomsday. This is an apology in a way. And the box office over these years sent a loud message to Disney, one they couldn't hear apparently. They just kept pressing forward. The years of box office flops couldn't get their attention, or maybe they did hear it and they loved it. Maybe certain people at Disney wanted things to fail. That's a conspiracy theory for another video. But one thing that's not a theory is the damage these movies in this era did, because fans spent their money and time to watch Marvel and said, this isn't Marvel anymore. Things have changed. They walked away. They didn't go see all these bad movies. They let the movies flop.
Actually, that sounds suspiciously accurate now that I think about it.
But then something happened. They came back to watch Deadpool and Wolverine, which made over $1 billion, showing Marvel and Disney that fans were still around if they actually put characters they wanted to see in theaters. Deadpool and Wolverine did cost a fortune to make, but most importantly, people enjoyed it. Was it the best movie ever? No. What I liked was Wolverine. I liked his whole story, but the non-stop comedy does kind of get to me. I like the X-Men. I like Wolverine because he's the X-Man.
And that means a lot of things, but most of all, it means I'm an X-Man.
And that's why we find ourselves at Doomsday. Marvel realized that characters matter, and they also realized time was running out. This is the desperate Hail Mary pass. That's why Robert Downey Jr. is back. They are relying heavily on fans remembering characters they loved, remembering actors they loved, and believing that this will be more of what they once loved. It's nostalgia. It's revisiting that Marvel era. But it's also a movie mixed in with a lot of the new characters. They didn't get rid of them. They're in this movie. And there's going to be a lot of time wasted on the Thunderbolts, for example. So unless they do it well and this movie's amazing, this movie might be rejected by fans. And it's not going to win at the box office most likely regardless, because the budget for Doomsday is insane. So what does Doomsday have to do? It has to fix all the problems. It has to save Marvel. It could lose at the box office by making $1.2 billion, still losing money. But as long as the movie's good, that's the real thing that matters. Can it be good enough for fans to believe the future of Marvel is good? Because this is basically part one in a trilogy. But it all comes down to whether or not the movie's good. This is one of those rare examples where the movie can make 1.3 billion, which would be low compared to like Avengers Endgame. But as long as the movie's good and builds excitement for the future and fixes the multiverse garbage and focuses on characters we want to see, it could actually be a win. And I hate to say it, but I have some optimism. I shouldn't. I'm going to get totally burned. But I think they can pull this off. Despite the rumors of the editing studio and them not having a complete movie and all the reasons I have to doubt it, maybe it's just wishful thinking. I want Doomsday to be good because I love the Marvel era. I'm a Marvel fan and I'm probably going to be let down, but I'm optimistic because it is desperate. They got here. It's a crazy situation, but maybe desperate times, desperate measures, the Hail Mary pass, maybe it will work. But that's just my opinion, and I'd love to hear what you think. Is Doomsday doomed?
Wow. I am rock hard right now. I don't need this anymore. Well, that was for something else. Definitely wasn't masturbating to the new Doomsday trailer. Subscribe. Yeah, for those of you that didn't know, Avengers Doomsday has a trailer out that's not AI for once. Although, maybe it's a little AI. It looks a little weird. Here's a full background. Here's a full synopsis on my relationship with the MCU. It was great, and then it wasn't. The last phase has been a shit show. Last couple, I suppose. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Shitia, bad. The Shit-Turnals, terrible. Thor, Love and Thunder. I mean, there was just too many bad ones there for a while. And so what do we have here? What is this movie bringing to the table this time? Well, the trailer shows us a few minutes of unadulterated cameos and characters that we've seen either once before in some mediocre movies or a lot of times, such as Professor X, who's now died 5 times in the movies? Has Patrick Stewart not been through enough? We have to keep killing this man off? Hell, when Stewart goes in real life, I'm not sure I'm gonna believe it. I don't want to believe it. That man is a legend. We also have Magneto back, Ian McKellen. I don't think any of the baby X-Men are in this one. We don't have J-Law, Mystique. J-Law's not in this one. We have Rebecca Romaine. She's in the mix. She's got a kind of a Karen Bob this time with the orange spiky hair. They look to have bedazzled her with CG this time. No makeup, I can't imagine. She used to do the 8-hour fucking makeup tour. That was miserable for her. Everything looks a little bizarre presentation-wise. And that starts from the onset with that opening shot of Xavier's mansion in ruin. You can barely make out what it is at first. This is kind of a very uninteresting start to lead things off. Mainly because the MCU mansion has no purpose in the MCU right now. It should have no real emotional attachment to it unless it's nostalgia porn, which is absolutely the case here. The only time the X-Men have been mentioned is in Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, to my recollection, and I suppose at the end of the Marvels, but only me and 5 other people saw that movie, so that doesn't count. The big selling point they wanted us to have going into this was not only were the Russos coming back and a lot of the other characters, but Iron Man's Robert Downey Jr.'s putting the helmet on one more time as a completely different character, Victor Von Doom, the ultimate badass. We see it in the trailer. He walks around a little bit. He looks down menacingly, as villains do, their sun peering in, and he counters Thor's one superpowered attack. And he holds it with one little finger or a pinky. Not today. Oh wait, he talks in a really weird, a Russian. Not today, friend. You're gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. 1, 2, meet me outside. Meet me outside. We have a cornucopia of characters, though. Roll call. Shang-Chi. Gambit. And his bow staff. Hello, Chevy. Is he gonna do his ridiculous Cajun accent again? Cause that was played for laughs in Deadpool. And again, it's the only time we've seen this character in the MCU. So odd, very strange. I wonder if they won't even have him talk in this. Yelana's back, baby! And she is looking fiery, smoke show, embers crackling on a fucking fire. Hot! God, yeah! Oh my God, yeah! No, refrain. It's giving Sabrina Carpenter, almost. Don't call it a comeback. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic Four are in the mix. We got Rock Lobster. We got Stretch Armstrong. We got Fire Guy. And of course, everyone's favorite MILF that's not Wanda Maximoff, Anya Taylor-Joy. I think that's Anya Taylor-Joy, right? She's replacing Vanessa Kirby in this one because that looks an awful lot like Anya, or there was a hell of a lot of work done on her face to pull that skin back. Either way, it's not the fakest looking thing in this movie because everything looks to have a digital background. They're using those fancy digital screens, good old fashioned blue screen, green screen, Hollywood magic trickery to keep these guys on a sound stage so that everything feels incredibly manufactured and small scale. We love it. We love to see it. Female Black Panther's in this one. Guy with the wing feet is in this one. Both of them from Wakanda Forever. That movie sucked. Should have been Wakanda for Never. It's a play on words there. Subscribe. We got Ant-Man. He's here. Probably the entire Thunderbolts crew that 4 people saw, myself included. I feel like I'm missing someone important. Oh yeah, Cyclops! The leader of the X-Men is in the house. And reprising the role is the fan favorite actor from that original Fox movie run. Checks notes, James Marsden. People loved him in those movies. What? Nobody liked him. I liked him. I was always a Marsden fan, but he was overall kind of looked down upon. He has the greatest line in any superhero movie ever, and the delivery is flawless. Let me set the stage. Early on in X-Men 3, before he's killed off after like 3 minutes of screen time, that might be too generous, he walks by Hugh Jackman's Logan, and Logan says some pithy comment about moving on with your life because Scott's very much, Scott Summers is Cyclops, very much mourning the loss of his beautiful, luscious bride-to-be, Jean Grey. I don't think they were ever engaged, but regardless, he's very sad about it. As he shoulder brushes by his frenemy, he turns to him and says, "Hey, not everyone heals as fast as you do, Logan." God, that's a good line. If there's a line like that in this movie, it instantly jumps up to an A+. The trailer's like 2.5 minutes long. It's incredible how little there is to say about it. It really is just a flip book of characters. Kind of blink and you'll miss some of them. Loki's in there as well. And then, of course, it sets on the big reveal, if you didn't watch the bizarre teasery trailers they've had going on for a year now. Maybe this would be a shock to you, but not to anyone else who's seen a movie in the last 12 months. But a young Captain America saunters out of the shadows. Thor's taken aback. Oh, this is impossible. How are you here? Captain America tosses the long hair, tips the hat that he's fictitiously wearing, and then holds out his hand as evidence with a little face ID. Thor's hammer snaps over to the other guy that it likes, and that's proof enough. He's like, yeah, we checked that two-step verification. You're good to go. Title card shits. They can't use the original, like dun, 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 dun. It has to get more disintegrated and dirty and rough and like doom and gloom, so they have to just keep adding more filters and shit on it. Robert Downey Jr. comes out, pulls off the mask to the world. I am Doomsday. Everybody freaks out. Movie ends. Calling it. They're just gonna do, it's just Iron Man again, but it's the bad version. It's the same movie. All these characters they're showing aren't even in the film. It's just a shot-for-shot remake of Iron Man, but it's Doom instead of the good guy. So he's in a cave building the Dr. Doom armor. Sorry, I'm all over the place rambling, but this trailer's all over the place rambling. What the fuck am I looking at? What is the story? What is happening? What are the stakes even? It just gives you nothing to go on. I guess the goal is to just show off Captain America and some of these other characters, and then all the audience will go, Phantasm! I needed lotion on my hands. Get your head out of the gutter. So, for my expert opinion, we're using props in this video for some reason. I think that this, looks like something. What that something is? TBD. Short for to be determined, of course. I just, this did nothing for me as someone who, you're gonna see a million videos like this, so I'm trying not to be the same. All right, not the same song and dance. You're going to get the middle-aged guy. I grew up with the Avengers, and I loved all these movies, and it's not the same anymore. It ended at Endgame. It ended at fucking Endgame. Yeah, okay. I don't have anything new to report on that. I'm in the same lame, bland boat, but that's the truth, you know? The X-Men ended for me at Days of Future Past, and they kept continuing those. And then we had Logan, which ended Wolverine, and then they kept doing more of those with, Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm sure Hugh Jackman's going to be in this film. It just goes without saying. And I'm also guessing we just got but a taste of the characters that are in this film. It's just a sticker pack. It's a Pokemon of superheroes. Gotta catch them all. I'm more interested in the stakes. I'm more interested in the story. I don't need people to die even. That doesn't mean anything to me. I just need the story to have a compelling reason to exist. And I gotta tell you, this trailer is not doing that at all. What it's saying to me is, we got all of them back. It doesn't matter if they died 2, 3, 5 times. They're in the movie. It doesn't matter if they have no association with anything previous to this film in our universe. They're in here. We have Cyclops. He's in here. So enjoy that. Love that. We didn't earn it. A different movie series did under a different studio, but we own everything now at Disney. So now you will accept this. The bottom line is the trailer is an uninspired mess for me. And that's coming from someone who's also an uninspired mess, okay? Game, recognize game. Where was Star-Lord? Where was Rocket Raccoon? No Guardians to be found as far as... I mean, Drax is always hidden. He's in frame, you just can't see him. Captain Marvel busy stopping volcanoes in a different universe or some shit in this one. How are they gonna explain her away? Huh? How are we gonna deal with that one? How are we gonna circle that square? Yeah, no, I'm guessing there's a lot more to be revealed, but for me, it's not about the characters, it's about the plot. So, remains to be seen. Let me know your thoughts, though, if you watched the trailer. Maybe you've watched it 15 times, you just can't get over how amazing it looks. Put it in the comments below. Please think of liking and subbing to the show Adam Does Movies on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you watch or listen, you'll surely find me. And hopefully I find you for the next video. I am Doomsday. Oh! Thanks again for watching the video. If you didn't know, I'm a one-man operation here at Adam Does Movies. I also have a full-time job. I got a family to take care of. And I would absolutely love if you supported me on patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies.
Nobody cares, bye.
All right. I'm going to try my best to balance my feelings on this one just right, to be perfectly clear on how I do and don't feel about it. If I'm being totally honest, I do not think that trailer was as good as it could have and should have been. As someone that has been a little bit more skeptical about this project, I was expecting to be a lot more excited after we got our first trailer for this movie. To be perfectly clear, I think that this movie will be a lot of fun. But I watched that trailer and it just kind of affirmed my fears about the film, which is that it's just going to be mash my toys together the movie. Will I have a lot of fun doing mash my toys together the movie with a couple heroes punching each other? Will I enjoy that? Of course I will, because I just love this stuff. But if you're following up Infinity War and Endgame, they were more than just mash my toys together movies. It lacks any hook beyond what I already knew, which is look at all these characters that are going to be in it. Of course, we're going to say it's the biggest threat. Of course, they're going to mash into each other. Of course, they're going to stand in circles around each other, but it lacks any hook beyond that. I already knew we were going to get that. So all you've shown images of it, and it looks fun. Looks like something I'll enjoy. But what it didn't do is really sell me on what is different about this. What is the story? What's going on with Doom? Why is he such a big threat? It didn't have a hook. It didn't have anything new beyond what I already knew to expect from this movie. And so if this trailer didn't have as much anticipation, if it wasn't, following up Endgame, if it wasn't throw all these resources at it, I saw this trailer and go, oh, that looks like a lot of fun. But also, with the amount of weight on it, with what it's following up, and you put out the trailer and it sells it on, man, there's a big threat that's bigger than ever. Who is that threat? Oh, we'll just show a couple sides of his face. Like, we don't know anything. We're just like Thor just hyping up. We got a big threat. And then just a bunch of shots of heroes hugging each other, standing in circles together, or fighting each other and kind of like smirking a little bit. Like, I already knew that's what the movie was. I already knew that. And so it's just selling me on the thing that we already really did with the chairs, but like the big version of it, the shots from the movie version of it, without anything kind of beyond that. And I think this trailer needed to be more than that at a point in time where Marvel's not riding on high. And there's some skepticism and there's concerns. I think you needed more than just, hey, look at everybody in the movie. Hey, and I guess, like, when you show Professor X and Magneto, like, looking at each other, like which we did in the teaser, when you do that, like, does that pull do I get the nostalgia heartstrings getting tugged? Oh, yeah, it does. Absolutely. Like, even, and like, maybe the shot for me that was like, oh, it was even the first shot where just the Xavier School for the Gift, like, just that at the beginning, like, did it give me the nostalgias? Like, absolutely it did. And then you do the shot and you've got, Avengers, Thunderbolts, Sam's Avengers, and the Fantastic Four, and you're like, oh, we're doing it. When you have the Gambit that never was and somehow is battling Shang-Chi, like, does that, like do I go, whoa, do I get the nerd giddiness and all that stuff? Yeah. But also, the nerd giddiness that I get from, oh, that person again. Oh, Gambit showed up. Oh, my heroes are playing with each other. Those are all gimmicks. Those are all things we've actually kind of done before. We've done them before. Different versions of them, different mixes and things like that. But it's not actually something fresh and new. It's just bigger and more on one movie than we've done before. And then the one that was even a little bit more like, is as it starts cutting through everyone's in the movie and it's like, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, Namor. Yeah, that's right. He's in this movie, isn't he? Oh yeah. And some of them just weren't like, because I just don't care about some of the characters because we've had so little time with them. And it's like, I just kind of moved on and not in a way where it was like, finally, we're getting more of that character. So it was just like, oh yeah, almost this feeling of like, they're stealing time from the characters I am excited about. And when you're putting out a trailer with a movie with this much weight on it, and the big selling point is, look, all your toys are going to mesh together. Look who's in it. Key jangling. When that's like your big selling point, I just think you needed more. And I say this like, when the Endgame trailer dropped, well, I guess Infinity War Endgame, I was delivering paint for a living still. This was before I went full time on YouTube, delivering paint, and it was like, whoa, everyone stopped, and they get work. Everyone to like, there's an Endgame. It was like this big event, really exciting. What are they going to do? And I just don't feel like that's what this is. And I don't think it's going to have that same impact. And it could be wrong. And I haven't seen Twitter's reaction to this trailer. I haven't looked at the comment section. This is like, I woke up and saw, I was like, crazy hair. You can look at how wacky my eyes look. I threw my contacts and ran up and didn't shoot the video. Like, I want to be won over. I don't have any actual stake in not enjoying an Avengers movie. Even as a parent, like, I want my son to be as excited about this stuff as it was, as we all were during phase 3. And he got just a taste of that at the end. I took him to Black Panther, and he saw Endgame, like he saw a couple of them, but he was too young to really get it, but he was there. But now he's old enough, he could really be a part of it. Like, I want him to have that experience. And I'm sure he will with Spider-Man in 2 weeks, but experience like a Avengers movie where you feel like you're seeing something really special. And I see this trailer, and this is not going to be for him what Infinity War and the first Avengers and Endgame were for all of us last decade. Could be wrong. Maybe they're saving it. And maybe the rest of you love this thing. I don't know. And like I said, I think the key thing is, it's not that it was like a bad trailer. It's not that in a vacuum, would I enjoy this? Yes, I would. Do I want to see these characters do this? Do I think the movie will be fun? But I don't want the follow-up to Endgame to just be, that was a fun movie with all my characters, a bunch of all my toys mashing into each other. Because I think Infinity War and Endgame and Captain America Civil War and all that, so much of phase 3 were really special. And that's really where this is coming from, that they did something really special, a cinematic universe. And there was missteps and some things that didn't pay off and some movies that weren't so great. But they did something where they actually pulled a universe together and had all these plot threads, and they found the right way and set up the characters and the character arcs. And they did this 1-2 punch of Infinity War Endgame, and it worked, and it was satisfying. And with time, I've told this story before, but like a few months back, I'm in my office right here. I actually edit on the floor right there. I like to sit on the floor and edit. And I just hear the music from Avengers. I'm like, what's going on? And I go downstairs. My wife just put on Avengers Endgame. It's like 2 hours into it by the time I come downstairs and realize this. She's like, I just saw a clip of Endgame and I just had to watch it. My wife is not one of us. She's not a big nerd. But as a normie, just saw a little clip of Endgame. She's like, I just got to watch Endgame right now. Because it's like such a satisfying movie that paid off all these characters that we loved, plot points and little bits here and there, played so well. She saw a clip and she went, I just have to experience that again. And that's not uncommon. Or if we watch a Marvel movie, she frequently, can we just watch the last hour of Endgame? That's what this movie's following up. And nothing in this trailer we just watched made me think that this movie has any of that. I think it'll be the equivalent for the way I perceive of Spider-Man No Way Home or Deadpool and Wolverine. And some of you hear that and you go, well, that's fantastic praise. And I go, it's really good praise from me because I really enjoy those movies. But I view those as like fan events of like, and I don't mean this as a pejorative, but like fan service movies. Like really fun fan service movies. And I would say like they're designed to deliver an experience that is just such a gift to the fans and so satisfying on that level. But I feel like Endgame and Infinity War are something so much more than that because its storytelling, its character work paid off. Not just a really cool, like, man.
You do know that we are starting a new trilogy of this shit, right? The first Avengers was not the best. It was just starting. That's what we're doing. We're starting a new trilogy. It's not supposed to be like Endgame, because Endgame was the final movie for that trilogy. And I say that because Infinity War and Endgame are two parts of one movie. So it counts as a trilogy. 4 movies technically, but 3 actual storylines. With Infinity War and Endgame being one storyline, just 2 parts. It's like Twilight Breaking Dawn was technically 2 parts. It's still one movie, one storyline. Well, 2 movies for one storyline. It's just split into 2 different movies. Same thing with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. One story split into 2 different halves. You know, like the final book, both Deathly Hallows and Twilight Breaking Dawn. That's, you know, Breaking Dawn was the final book for Twilight, and Deathly Hallows was the final book for Harry Potter. Each of those final books, according to the movies, when they put it in film, the film adaptations were split into 2 parts. Same thing with Endgame being, you know, same thing with Infinity War being part 1 and Endgame being part 2. So it's a trilogy. So if they are starting a new trilogy for Avengers, this first trilogy, this first movie of this new trilogy, the second trilogy, will be the first film of the second trilogy. Just like Avengers was the first movie for the first trilogy. And so I guess we're going to have 2 Avenger trilogies.
They found a way to pull all my Spider-Men together, and it was really good. Now, the story about him going to college, who cares about that? But it was so satisfying to see all the Spider-Men together. I think Endgame is something so much more than that and works on something higher level and is something more impactful in cinematic history, even that they pulled it off. And this doesn't feel like it's a follow-up to that. It feels like it's one more kind of little, hey, look at all of our toys together. Hey, look, everyone's coming together. It'll be a real satisfying fan, or it'll be a real fun fan event. But I don't think it's going to have the storytelling impact. I don't think it's going to have the last that you get with something like Endgame that was like, man, they really did it. And then said this many times before, but like, you know, when you haven't seen Shang-Chi in 5 years outside of a what if episode, you haven't seen Namor in 4 years, and you have all these characters we haven't seen, we don't know what they've been up to, and you have to set all those characters up, plus you have to pull the X-Men over, you have to build the bridge to the Fantastic Four, and we have a villain that even still with this trailer, we don't know almost nothing about him. And how is he actually going to be some sort of variant of Tony Stark that our characters are going to recognize, or like what are we doing with all of that? is just a lot. And this trailer sold it on the thing I knew was going to be in there. Like, we're mashing our toys together. So, I don't know. I just think it needed to be better. Or it needed to be, I expected it to be better. I expected to watch it and be like, okay, I see what you're doing now. I think maybe this is the thing I should have said at the beginning. It lacks any hook beyond what I already knew. Maybe I'll even edit this and try to cut this at the beginning. But it lacks any hook beyond what I already knew, which is look at all these characters that are going to be in it. Of course, we're going to say it's the biggest threat. Of course, they're going to mash into each other. Of course, they're going to stand in circles around each other. But it lacks any hook beyond that. I already knew we were going to get that. So all you've shown images of it, and it looks fun. Looks like something I'll enjoy. But what it didn't do is really sell me on what is different about this. What is the story? What's going on with Doom? Why is he such a big threat? It didn't have a hook. It didn't have anything new beyond what I already knew to expect from this movie. So as a trailer,
he said that like 10 damn times at least. God damn.
No, bro, get my knees for him. The trailer for Avengers Doomsday has finally landed online for all of us to see. The wait for this movie is growing bigger and bigger, and there's been a lot of crazy and wild things heard about it, and some of that craziness was shown in the trailer. Gambit versus Shang-Chi, Chris Evans return and back-grabbing Mjolnir, Dr. Doom stopping Stormbreaker with 2 fingers. But my favorite of all, man, it is that shot of sweet Cyclops Scott Summers coming into frame, finally wearing that 90s costume. Okay, we're gonna have to dive into everything involved with this trailer, along whether this did hype us up to the level that we needed to for an Avengers film. Thoughts and theories. Is this going to break all sorts of records? I want to know from you guys. You finally get to see the first trailer. Did it do something for you? Because I am getting a decent amount of people saying, I feel nothing. I'm watching a trailer for an Avengers movie, and I don't feel anything. But I see that, and I feel something, man. It's moving. It's moving. So beginning things off with the trailer, we start off with the Xavier School for Gifted Children, the X Mansion, almost completely in ruins. Patrick Stewart, Professor X, is looking out the window, and I'm thinking he's looking at an incursion. I don't think this is just some explosion or aftermath of a fight. I think this is his world about to perish. Either that or he's watching Oppenheimer for the first time. As we're getting these shots, though, we are getting voiceover from Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom for the first time. He's doing a classic superhero pose where he's about to stand tall, and I gotta admit, I was curious what this Robert Downey Jr. accent sounded like, and it sounds good. It really doesn't sound like Tony Stark to me. It doesn't sound also too exaggerated or like someone doing a crazy accent.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. We should be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Genuinely comes off menacing, and I'm also very happy Downey is actually going to be in the Doctor Doom mask for like 95% of this movie, having himself be covered up. So that's exciting. We'll definitely look at more on Doom later, but from there we transition to a shot of Avengers Tower, where it looks like we're getting a continuation from the post-credit scene that we got at the end of Thunderbolts, where the Avengers are seeing the Fantastic Four ship arrive, and on that ship we have the Fantastic Four, of course, and Thor, where I'm also assuming Chris Evans, Steve Rogers is on there as well, because we see it at the end of this trailer. But this is worlds colliding and people from different multiverses meeting. And it looks like in the time it's taken from the ship to arrive from space to Avengers Tower, Bucky has called in to Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, Scott Lang, to be there in case they need reinforcements. I, again, am so happy that they did decide to go back to the Ant-Man and the Wasp suit for Ant-Man. It honestly does fit a lot better with the aesthetic of the movie. Wish the red popped a little bit more, but you know what? That's another thing I kind of want to go off of with this trailer. I think all like the non-CG shots look absolutely gorgeous. I am loving the warm tones, the contrast. The cinematography is the best it's looked in a Marvel movie in a long.
I'll be back. Gotta go get my clothes. Yes. I'm sorry. Okay, okay. Don't fret, no. There we go.
Time for me. I excluded the CG shots because I do think they still need some polishing, and not all of them look great, but a ton of them still look very good. But again, these shots where it's just them talking, sunlight's hitting them, or they're in a room, I think this movie looks really beautiful. But okay, we get this wide shot, kind of a classic in the Avengers, where all of them are gathered together and they're trying to figure out the battle they're about to go up against, where Thor is the one giving the pep talk and encouraging them to put their squabbles aside, to stand tall, that we might not make it out of this battle. And this is the Fantastic Four and Thor walking into an issue that was established at the end of Thunderbolts.
But we are the Avengers. How does Sam Wilson not understand that? If he puts together a team, then who are the real Avengers? Weren't you going to talk to him?
I already did. It went poorly.
Where yes, there is a government-approved Avengers, but then there is also Sam Wilson's Avengers that are unapproved and using the same name, and they're arguing about that, trying to see who's more in charge, and Thor's like, hey, enough. We got bigger problems to deal with.
Put aside your petty squabbles.
But the other big thing I wanted to point out with this wide shot is if you look at the monitors, where I'm assuming the Fantastic Four is explaining the trouble that their worlds are in, it looks like we see the beginning of an incursion. We see a countdown clock, and we look at what appears to be 3 different Earths that are about to collide into each other. And in the comics with the incursions, the only way they found to save one planet is to destroy the other planet they're about to collide in. I'm assuming one of these is the Fantastic Four planet, then we have our MCU planet, and then the third planet has to be the X-Men world where they're about to travel off to see if there's anything they can do. As teams and alliances are being formed, we do get a shot of Namor face to face with Shuri, our Black Panther, probably again seeking their help and saying, hey, we need all the assistance we can get, a big battle's coming, and like always seems to happen, a bit of a misunderstanding where we'll get a little fight and tussle before they're friends. Really am liking the Namor outfit for the movie. Very resemblant to his comic costume, but just not as crazy. I think it actually looks really cool here. We then move on to this shot of Thor that is jumping in at the rubble at the X-Mansion, because you can see a bunch of Sentinels that have just been basically killed and destroyed, because we will begin a scene of that in the movie. We've seen the feet move in the shot where Dr. Aura, aka Mr. Mog, is shooting out his optic blast and a Sentinel is walking in the background. But this is probably going to be the most hype moment that either had you so excited or going, eh? And it's a build-up shot to Thor using Stormbreaker to fight against Doctor Doom, where Doom is able to stop this with 2 feet. Imagine what he can do with 3. Now look, I'm Doom taking Thanos' spine out, which to me, I'm like, Thanos has been killed so many times on screen that has no effect. Something like this is more effective, but I do get it. It's like, man, would have been much more awesome if this Doctor Doom setup was built up movie to movie. If this didn't feel so random and chaotically put together because of the shifts in Marvel. Like, yes, there are drawbacks to it, but I'm not hating what I'm seeing. I do think it's exciting, but man, I'll tell you, I had way more excited and jumping up and down feelings when watching the first trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And while this one still got me excited, it wasn't to like Brand New Day levels. As Thor and Doctor Doom are fighting, though, we get a bunch of other scattered shots of some action that'll happen in the movie. The X-Mansion exploding like it likes to do. And then, of course, Cyclops coming in. Boy, let's do it. He's coming in wearing his 90s outfit, and it just looks gorgeous, man. I hope there's plenty of screen time for Cyclops. He was always done slightly dirty in his movies. I need him to last longer here. Have a couple of action scenes really show off his awesome abilities. The costume to me is as good as it can get, and it's finally translated in a way that I'm happy. Sure, there's little nitpicks I have, like they didn't give him the yellow gloves or the yellow underwear. I kind of figured the underwear was a no-go. But hey, they gave him the yellow boots. I do wish the visor was yellow and looked kind of like the visor I have, but it's more of a silver look. Either way, though, these little nitpicks do not deter from how awesome he looks. We then get a sequence of Gambit and Shang-Chi fighting. I really didn't expect Gambit to be such a martial artist. Like, I would think this is a no-brainer fight for Shang-Chi, but he is holding his own, and it's looking good. We get a quick glimpse of Tom Hiddleston, Loki, with his TVA badge. It's kind of the only shot we get of him, and he's not sitting at his throne. Heck, I don't even know if these are his hands holding his badge. This might be Steve Rogers' hands. I think I see a wedding ring. So this might be a flashback before Loki got into his throne and had to warn Steve about his future, the disruption he caused the timeline and has to move them. That's one of the things we're hearing about with Avengers Doomsday. This is actually a sequel to Avengers Endgame, and the action Steve took at the end by having his own life and having now a baby, it somehow has caused the collapse of the multiverse, and Doom blames Steve for it and now wants his revenge. And with the first poster for Avengers Doomsday showing a wife and a son in the throne of Doom, it looks like this is what he lost because of Steve's actions. Do really like this shot here of the Fantastic Four and new Avengers, including Falcon, meeting the Wakandans, and I don't know, is it me? I thought Ben Grimm was a little taller. I know they didn't make him that tall, but he wasn't almost height to Sue Storm. Whatever the case, Ben is looking sweet. I also wouldn't be surprised if Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm is the diplomat that is responsible for getting the Wakandans and the Talokans, Namor's people, to work together, to come together to fight Doom. They did set up on her planet. She was able to get all the countries, minus Latveria, to come together. I think we're gonna get that Sue and Namor scene that some of us are dreading. If we're wondering why Reed Richards isn't there to stop Namor from rizzing up his wife, it looks like Reed decided to join in on the X-Mention fight where he's even holding Sam Wilson Captain America back. You can already see his hand stretching out. Already more stretchiness than what we got in his solo Fantastic Four movie. But I like Herbie the Bot is also there. He looks slightly different than we last saw him. And well, Yelena is of course then going to encounter Mystique, where we see her transform now again. Even in motion, I'm not liking the costume and hairpiece that they gave Rebecca Romaine this time around. But again, it does not matter because she quickly then transforms, and the effect does look good, and we're gonna get a Yelena versus Yelena fight. A shot of Ant-Man saying bye to his daughter, because again, this honestly could be the last time we see Ant-Man. Like, if I had to put some money on it, Ant-Man might be one of the ones that dies. They did his trilogy, his movies bombed, I don't see much of a future for this character. This could be Scott Lang's last time, and it would be a death that would hurt. Bringing us to that final moment where Thor is encountering Steve Rogers. Good old Captain Blackshirt is in disbelief because he believes Steve to be dead or gone. Hands him a test of, alright, if you're Steve, you can wield Mjolnir, and he calls it to him, and I guess this will be his weapon of choice for the remainder of the movie because he ain't getting no shield, he ain't getting no costume. Dude's the equivalent of a Home Depot dad right now. But I did mention, I think there is a character in this movie that isn't an Avenger that is hiding behind Chris Evans' character right now. Because if you kind of look in the background, there's somebody, and again, maybe it's the shadows or just because it's out of focus, you can't really tell who this individual is, but I'm putting two and two together and thinking, I wonder if this is mini Steve Rogers, if this is his child and he's on board being protected because of Dr. Doom maybe looking for them. I don't know, this person seems small in stature. I'm not picking up any blue, so it's not a member of the Fantastic Four. It kind of looks like a little kid to me. If it's not Steve's kid, then it's Franklin Richards, and enough time has passed where maybe I guess he can join on the mission. Remember, Steve Rogers' kid isn't a little kid anymore. That was a flashback in the trailer that we got. You can tell by the lack of beard. So it's been at least 4 or 5, maybe 7 years. Kid's a little older now. Either way, I do think this will be an Infinity War situation and our heroes are not going to win. Doom is. He'll get all the power he needs and then create Battle World, and Secret Wars will just be every and all multiverses living on one planet. So either way, I do think it's a cool trailer. It's nice to finally see it, admittedly. Not as hyped as like the Brand New Day trailer. I also think it's because we read the description of this trailer like 5 months ago. So it's 5 months of already knowing this was going to happen. It did kind of take away a little bit of it, but still pretty cool. It's here. I throw it off to you guys. You see the Avengers Doomsday trailer. What do you make of it? What are you most excited about? Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Cyclops.
This is the trailer that we saw at CinemaCon, but slightly they changed.
They plussed it up. They plussed it up.
They added some effect shots. It's cut. The one that we saw at CinemaCon, I thought was longer. So
no, I think this is. I'm sorry. I think this is longer. I think what they did was they added to what we saw. There's a lot of additions to it, but the structure of the trailer is the same.
Well, we are going to finally get to hear Downey as Doom and hear him do his Borat accent. It sounds very Borat. Let's watch together. George hasn't seen it. Nope. So let's watch. Here we go. Ready?
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Kind of sounds like Werner Herzog.
I kind of had an Arnold thing going on there.
What the hell did he say?
Warriors in our time. Well, they were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one.
Oh.
Everything that they sacrificed will be for nothing if we do not stand together.
All the leaks were true.
Put aside your petty squabbles. And presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters. But mark my words. We're going to need a miracle. Hey, pal. It's not possible.
And the crowd goes wild.
Okay, so tickets went on sale this morning. Who got their tickets?
I got mine. I'm seeing it in Infinity Vision.
I'm seeing it in Infinity Vision, which is actually just another screen. It's the prime screen at Burbank. I mean, like, what is that?
Yeah, it's the RPX theater.
Look, man, I'm going to say it wasn't a bad trailer. Like, honestly, there's even parts of where I'm like, they got my curiosity. At the very least, they got my curiosity. It's not bad. I'm actually thinking, look, I'm going into it optimistically. And I know it's crazy of me, of all people, to say I'm going into a Disney film with optimism.
Wow. You have changed.
No, but look, I you know what it is, George? I want to believe. My old dark heart just wants to believe.
What happened to you in the last month?
What have you been doing since you've been away?
I just want something good. That's all. And I want to go in just believing that maybe this might be a good movie.
They're going to start calling you a shill next.
Oh, of course.
Okay, George, we're going to go around. Everyone's going to respond. But George, that's your first time seeing it.
That is. The accent threw me. I couldn't understand part of it, but I was a little piqued. It's just that I've seen these clips before. I just didn't see them all together. I've seen the one with Thor praying. I don't know. They piqued my curiosity, I'd say, in one way, but at the same time,
Because you don't know how to appreciate shit.
they fought Thanos. Now they need a fucking miracle, but that just doesn't sell me the way that they have done the threat. I'm not sold on Doom. I know the Doom backstory. But
just talk shit
it
about
didn't
it.
sell-
That's Doom's
backstory. Right, but it didn't sell me in that way, and I didn't like the end with Steve. That was kind of cheesy.
That was set up better when we saw it at CinemaCon than it was there.
I don't know. I will say, I have hope for it to return to form. So I will join verbal in saying that I'm hoping. I don't want to believe, but I didn't like the Doom voice. Didn't like the Doom.
Badger, what do you think?
Well, seeing as how basically every single leak that has happened has basically been confirmed, and I know what I'm getting through the whole movie, it was my fear that the people actually starring in this movie are all the ones no one gives a shit about from phases 4 and 5. So I'm ironically just kind of getting through this so I get to Secret Wars where the actual people I care
Yeah, and they would do this in Doom Part 3 along with Avengers Doomsday.
about will be starring. Yeah,
So
I'll go watch
Doom.
it, but I'm more excited to go see Spider-Man than I am Doomsday.
Well,
personally.
Yeah, but Badger, they might kill off all of those people. So
Oh, no, to be sure, every single person's going to die because they want to redo Infinity War, but then they'll all be back with space magic.
Well, wait a minute. Are they going to kill all the D plus characters? Because then I will definitely go watch it. If they kill all of those characters, I will be there.
Check this out. Check this out. From the junket for Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr. does the Doom voice. This is from James Wallace on X. Check this out.
Tony Stark,
Iron
the most
whatever.
famous mass murderer.
Did you catch that?
Isn't he doing
Tony Stark,
Iron
the most
whatever.
famous mass murderer.
doing Mickey Rourke?
Well, yeah, it sounds like Rourke's Russian. Yeah.
Whiplash, yeah. I don't know. I'm glad he's doing an accent, but he kind of verges into Arnold in there. So I maybe have to see it like conversationally how he's going to sound.
Well, look, I think Doomsday's biggest problem is going to be the years of crap that we've seen from Marvel, and also the baggage of all of that. I mean, each of those, the X-Men franchise is a whole thing separate, right? But like bringing all this stuff together, are people where are normies going to be? Yes, Dante, you know everyone in that trailer. We all know who's there. Where are normies going to go? This is too complicated.
You know what?
Are normies checking out of Marvel is my thing, because superhero movies they're not a guarantee hit now. And
I think there are enough characters in there that most people recognize or at least remember. I don't know about Namor so much, but then again, I don't know how much screen time he's going to have.
What about Shuri?
But people know Shuri. I mean, they know these characters for the most part. They're probably not going to know the Thunderbolts too much.
No, come on, that movie.
They know the Fantastic Four at least just by looks. So I mean.
Right.
We'll see. I mean, and Doctor Doom is one of those characters that even if you're like not a hardcore comic book guy, you know his name. You've heard of Doctor Doom. You might not know everything about him, but so I don't know. I think normies will show up for this, to be honest with you. I think there'll be enough hype after Brand New Day. Yeah, after Spider-Man, there'll be enough hype that people will be like, okay, I want to see the next thing.
Why didn't they have Steve in his Cap outfit?
Because he's not Captain America. Sam
He's
Wilson's
always
Captain America.
No,
you've missed out, George. He's just some dude.
Yeah. He's always Captain America.
Yeah.
No, he's just some dude in a black t-shirt.
I'll tell you, the one movie I've been looking forward to all year is Doom 3. That's it.
Yeah, Doom Part 3 really has the hype.
That's the one movie I'm looking forward to.
I think it's a huge mistake dropping those on the same day. Like, I really do.
I still think that Doomsday is going to suffer because of Doom 3.
That's a bad mistake.
We shall see. We shall see. Any comments from you, Alan, on the trailer?
No, like I said, some additions there, like the TVA. That wasn't what we saw. But again, I'll just reiterate what I've always been saying. I have no idea what's been leading up to this. So, there's no hype, there's no energy, there's nothing behind it. Just trust us, bro. It'll be great.
Wait, Alan, you're not excited about Shang-Chi?
I say you got.
I am. That's the best part.
Yeah, come on.
Look, the fact that they added actual fighting between him and Gambit made the whole trailer.
You see all that Greek representation? There was a bunch. There's so many Greeks on that trailer.
But I did like when I saw. I will say, there you go. I did like when Gambit kind of gave him that look, like, yeah, go away, punk. That I can't stand Shang-Chi, but again, how many people since the D Plus series didn't do well? How many average people are going to know him? I mean, we're not talking about
exactly. That's my point.
But who show a trailer with
nobody
Tobey
knows
Maguire and Deadpool, and everyone will fucking go see it.
Yes, but remember in Wolverine and Deadpool, all those characters came to most people as a surprise, but they knew them because they grew up with them. Who has watched any of these D Plus characters really? When we've gone through this before,
probably not that many.
We've gone through the ratings before. Come on, no, nobody's watched it.
But George, but that's why they brought back Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. And
see, I think they should have focused on that. I think they should have focused on the crew. Thor, Captain America.
The OG,
yeah.
I mean, literally, bring back Black Widow now.
Look, we need somebody to be cannon fodder, right? So I mean,
well, leave them.
Bring in the D Plus people and just kill them off.
Maybe that would be the way to sell the trailer. Show Shang-Chi getting chopped up and Namor and all of them dying. And the Avengers come in. That would have sold everybody because it'd be like, hey, cool, they're going to die. And we're proving it to you.
Well, at least we know. So you're aware they're coming out. Endgame is being re-released in September with 7 minutes. A new opening, a new like a little tacked on ending, and it'll lead to the events directly in Doomsday, from Endgame to Doomsday. And we know that Steve Rogers lives because an old Steve Rogers shows up at the end of Doomsday, or at the end of Endgame, to give the shield to Sam Wilson. So, and then we see a young Steve Rogers here. So that event of him coming back with the shield to give it to Sam, that happens after Doomsday and maybe Secret Wars. Does anyone want to comment on that? He must still have a shield
somewhere.
See, this is where all this.
Sam Wilson has Cap's shield. He has old Cap's shield, but Cap isn't old Cap yet. So he must still have his shield.
This is where all this timey-wimey stuff gets messed up, man.
So what, Loki goes and brings him back?
We don't
spoilers,
know.
But there's going to be something along it just reminds me of Reverse Flash talking to Barry, where he goes, that's the thing about time travel, Barry. The more you do it, the less the rules apply. And it's all it's all messed up over there.
Fakakta, yeah. It's all fakakta. I'm waiting for someone, just one person in there, to have a t-shirt, Thanos was right.
Well, this Avengers roster sure is feeling a bit empty. I wonder who they're hiding. The Avengers Doomsday trailer is here. I noticed something weird in it, as I always tend to. Well, this Avengers roster sure is feeling a bit empty. I wonder who they're hiding. The Avengers Doomsday trailer is here. I noticed something weird in it, as I always tend to do in these things. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna break it down. This is the one we've been waiting for, y'all. Is Marvel gonna be saved by this movie? Or does this look like... Well, this Avengers roster sure is feeling a bit empty. I wonder who they're hiding. The Avengers Doomsday trailer is here. I noticed something weird in it, as I always tend to do in these things. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna break it down. This is the one we've been waiting for, y'all. Is Marvel gonna be saved by this movie? Or does this look like a plea, a desperate plea to gather back old fans that have left? No copyright in this, YouTube. I promise you. I'm not playing music. I'm not doing anything. We're just going through this trailer, all right? Starting with this. Xavier. We see the mansion. We see all the scenes we saw from that teaser, right? Xavier's school. Something's happened to it. It's dilapidated. Xavier fucked up yet again. We see Xavier seeing a calamity. His Earth is about to explode. Who knows how they get to the current world in the MCU? Something we may not be able to deter, somebody's saying. And then we see Doctor Doom with his voice. Robert Downey Jr.'s voice as Doctor Doom. He's got the accent. He's got the pretty good voice. Looks okay. Then we get our Marvel logo, okay? We get a shot of the city, the Avengers Towers here. The new Avengers Tower. You see the new Avengers logo. The Thunderbolts are the new Avengers now. Okay? We see the Fantastic Four coming with Thor. Thor's everywhere. By the way, Thor's the main character of this movie. He's everywhere in this trailer. He's all up in the trailer. So I guess the Fantastic Four met him before leaving their world. He must have come to their world and saying, hey, you're about to get fucked. Then they drove to meet the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts saw their tower, their ship coming through in that end credit scene, right? We see, who is this? Who the hell are these people? Oh yes, we see the Thunderbolts. Where's the Void? The Void's back here. They're hiding the Void. Where's that Yelena? I don't know. We see Fantastic Four, we see Ant-Man, Falcon, and we see Thor. Thor is telling them, I fought these battles with people stronger than all of us put together. Basically saying, this is the lamest Avengers team of all time. And it's weak as fuck. I was fighting with the likes of Strange, Captain Marvel, y'all are nothing. So we're done. We're like, we need a miracle, bro. We're like the Cavs against the Warriors when LeBron beat them 3-1, but like imagine if LeBron played with like guys like me. That's what Thor's dealing with, bro. He has to carry them to beat the Warriors. He says they died facing the enemies. We see the Wakandans, okay? I'm gonna be honest, I don't care about the Wakandans or anything with Shuri in this. Then we see Thor facing off against Doctor Doom in the Void. They are in the Void, by the way. They're in the Void. Not the Sentry Void. I mean the Void where all the timelines, the Paris timelines, and people from it go to when they get zapped by the TVA, okay? So, and he's saying, oh my god, nothing scares me more than Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom scares me. No, he doesn't scare anybody compared to Thanos, let's be honest about the situation. We see Cyclops come in with looking cool, looking badass with this original suit, his comic accurate suit. Gambit and Shang-Chi are facing off. I'm glad they brought Shang-Chi back. I know a lot of people wanted him to be recasted, but you know what, I like him as Gambit. Him and Shang-Chi are going to have a battle of the decades. We see, what is this? Wakanda? So this is probably going to be where the Wakandans and the people from the Atlantis of Marvel are facing off and they're meeting with each other. Okay? We see Yelena looking.
She's Caucasian and Japanese.
Bad as hell. We see her and Reed. So someone has entered into their compound. This looks like they're in Xavier's mansion, to be honest. And they're about to fight the X-Men. And they're going to be battling out before Thor says, hey, quit your squabbling, bro. We gotta fight Doctor Doom. What is this? What's happening right here? Mystique. Transfer into Yelena, who looks hot. Yelena looks so hot. Anyways, then we see Magneto and Xavier. I'm not doing copyright, Disney. I'm literally just going through this. No music is being played. We see Ant-Man and his daughter, who no one gives a shit about. Human Torch. Something, dude, there's a calamity that's about to explode all these worlds. I think Doctor Doom is going to create Battle World at the end of this. We see her here. She is going to get clapped by a Wakandan, by the way. If you guys know, T'Challa and Sue Storm go at it. Right? Dude, T'Challa's banging everyone. Now, they're gonna have a new T'Challa, I guarantee it. Shuri, no one gives a shit. Another calamity is happening again, bro. This looks like this in the TVA or something. We see Cyclops shooting his laser beams out. We see Sue Storm is battling against somebody. Namor is fighting against somebody.
I can't.
Was it Namor and Sue Storm that hooked up, or T'Challa?
I can't even.
And then we see the money shot. Thor launches himself at Doctor Doom. Stormbreaker, full force. Like, remember, this is the same weapon that cut through the fully formed blast of an Infinity Gauntlet and stabbed Thanos.
No.
He's about to hit him. This is going so slow, and then Doctor Doom catches it like this. His magic is on another level, showing you this is the strongest thing they've ever faced. Marvel is literally trying to tell you he's so much beyond Thanos. I'm gonna make a whole video about how Doctor Doom's aura completely lacks compared to Thanos, by the way. But this is Marvel telling us, yeah, this is it. And then we see Doctor Doom. Looks good. Looks like Doctor Doom should. I don't really have any problems with it. Thor is going up to somebody with Mjolnir. He says it's not possible. Somebody catches the hammer. And it's none other than Steve Rogers. Back after 6 to 7 years after Endgame. Back after banging Peggy for God knows how long. He's back. He looks tired and withered. He looks older, man. He does look older, but my God, I'm glad to see him back. I'll be honest, bro. This is pure nostalgia bait, this trailer. Let's just be real about that, but I'm happy to see Cap back, bro. It's Cap. Come on, look at that smile. It's Cap, bro. Who can hate on Cap? And then we see Avengers Doomsday, and then we see the clock and all this bullshit. Okay.
Here's the first nigga.
Stop sharing.
Here's the first
What's
nigga.
going on, guys? What are our thoughts?
Shit.
I'll be honest, guys. I'm a fan of Marvel. I'm a fan of Avengers. Am I excited for this movie? Of course. Of course. I'm not going to act like I'm not going to see it. This movie really suffered from everything getting leaked, by the way. They should not have told us Captain America's coming back. Because imagine they revealed this in the trailer before revealing to us that Cap was coming back. Imagine they showed the Thor, only the Thor trailer and the Cyclops trailer. And didn't show that Cap was coming back. And imagine the leaks didn't happen. Because the leaks happened and because Cap was revealed, you had all these AI trailers that came out as well. It doesn't hit as hard. Steve Rogers coming back and catching that Mjolnir. That should have made me way more hyped than it did. I'm hyped to see Steve back, and I'm glad it was in the trailer, but
that's what makes him worthy.
It just doesn't hit. Guys, do you guys remember how hype the Infinity War trailers and Endgame trailers were? Because the build-up, the hype, the anticipation was at an all-time high. There is fuck all for Doomsday. They haven't made an MCU film, I think, since last summer with Fantastic Four, right? They've been gearing up towards this. They've had a bunch of shows. It just isn't the same.
Fuck it up.
Doctor Doom. Looks cool. Seems to have aura. They really are trying to tell you he has so much aura, way more aura than anyone. He doesn't hit as hard as Thanos. Thanos was different. When Thor, this feels like Marvel's trying to sell us the threat that Doctor Doom is, but they're telling us. They haven't really shown us. They haven't really done the work like they did with Thanos. When Thanos came in the trailer for Infinity War, when Thanos came in all these end credit scenes prior to Infinity War, right? It felt like an earned threat. It felt like, yeah, this is the thing we've been building up to. When Thor says stuff like, I'm more scared of this than anything we faced. Really? You are? You're more scared of this than you literally faced off with Gore the God Butcher in front of eternity, right? Really, I don't know. It doesn't hit the same way it did. We have a couple other things. Marvel did release their poster. Doctor Doom is looking at this mural dedicated to his wife and child who probably died. Due to some kind of timeline destruction at the hands of one of these heroes doing stupid shit. Probably Captain America banging Peggy probably led to that. Let's just be real about the situation. Now that's why Cap is coming back.
He goddamn loves back wounds because he's got the whole fucking back wounds in his back.
So I have a couple things to ask. One, Thor says this team is pathetic, bro. I fought with way stronger dudes than you idiots. We need a miracle. Where's Captain Marvel? Where's her bum ass doing? Is she load managing like Kawhi? What's she doing? Where are you at, Captain Marvel? You're one of the stronger Avengers and you're nowhere? Stupid. Hulk? Probably gonna get his ass whipped by Spider-Man in Brand New Day and put in prison. Bruce Banner. Right? There's one guy, though, that is missing that should be in this film. And I know Spider-Man, they're saving him for Secret Wars. Hulk, I don't anticipate him being in this film at all. He's not a factor for the MCU anymore. Doctor Strange. Where's Doctor Strange at? You know, in concept art, in some leaks too, Doctor Strange apparently is siding with Doctor Doom. He's apparently siding with Doctor Doom, y'all. Because maybe he agrees with Doctor Doom, like, yeah, the timeline getting fucked up is their fault, and we probably need to put an end to them. We probably need Doctor Doom's help to fix everything. Isn't that interesting? Very, very interesting. The Avengers roster, in my opinion, is very light. You have the Fantastic Four. You have Wakanda, Shuri, Namor, the other dude, the Man-Beast or whatever. You have the Thunderbolts, and you have Falcon. Most of them are weak. I'm really sorry, bro. Most of the Thunderbolts are shit. They're trash. They're not doing anything. I'm sorry. They're blown up assassins, but some of them are superhuman, right? The only person in there, and we're gonna get to him. Actually, we'll get to that later. The Fantastic Four. Okay, you could do some stuff. Sue Storm held back Galactus with her powers somehow. Like, come on. She's got some things she can add. Reed Richards is smart as hell. You got Thor. You don't have Wanda. You don't have Doctor Strange. You don't have any of the magicians.
It's stupid.
The only guy, in my opinion, that could really help is the Void Sentry. But the problem with the Void Sentry is the Void. He'll void everybody, and we're just back to then Doctor Doom can do whatever he wants because all the heroes are stuck in their own private hell, you know. So it's really tough.
Oh shit!
Without Doctor Strange, you really are going to struggle against a dude like Doctor Doom who's mastered magic at every level. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. Okay, I did miss one shot of the trailer, and that's Loki. Loki is holding this medallion that says TVA or whatever. I think Loki's dying.
Like your mama son.
I think Loki's gonna get killed to set up Secret Wars. So what I think is gonna happen is Loki has that whole, he's the god of stories, right? He's all the timelines are intact because of him. He is the universal tree or whatever, the multiversal tree. Dr. Doom wants Loki's scalp. So he's gonna kill him. Either he'll use Franklin Richards or the Void to do so. Loki's gonna get killed, y'all.
But I'm hungry.
And then with that, Dr. Doom's gonna take his ability and form Battle World, which will set up Secret Wars. So, you know, in Infinity War, we had all our heroes in Infinity War, and then they all perished. And then in Endgame, you just focused on the main Avengers team, the core Avengers team, and then all of them came back at the end. I think we're going to reverse that. We have all these heroes here in Doomsday, but they're like the teams we've seen. Spider-Man, all these other guys are not going to come until Secret Wars, where everybody, you're going to have mere variants of everybody there. So you're going to have more volume, more quantity of heroes in the second movie because you have Battle World. You're going to have Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Deadpool, Spider-Man, all these guys. And then after Secret Wars happens, and the Battle World happens, and Loki's now dead, and Thor's going to have to take his place maybe as the multiversal tree, you will have a rebooted MCU after that. That's where I think we're headed. So what I theorize is multiple heroes are going to come together because of Thor. Thor's going to maybe get a message from Loki or something. He's going to see something, all right? Thor has no connection with Doctor Doom, but in this movie, it's like he fought him and lost, and now he's warning everybody. So he warns Fantastic Four first. Somehow he gets to their timeline. I don't know. Don't ask me. Maybe with the help of Loki. Loki maybe helps Thor. Maybe Thor and Loki have like a reunion, and then Loki says, "Bro, you need to go back and help everybody." Thor helps Fantastic Four first. Their world gets annihilated. They come to the regular Earth 616 or whatever, our world, the MCU world. Okay, to warn the Thunderbolts. They come together. They travel to another world, all of them together. Xavier's mansion, the X-Men world. They fight the X-Men. We have multiple fights. Yelena versus Mystique, Gambit versus Shang-Chi, Xavier versus the Void, all that. They all quit their squabbling. Then they travel to Wakanda. Everyone then teams up. Then from there, they all try to fight Doctor Doom, but something occurs, bro. Something goes terribly wrong. Somehow, multiple heroes get sent to the Void. Thor has to fight Doom, loses. Doctor Doom will get to Loki because Thor can't save Loki. Kill Loki. Secret Wars. That's what I think is going to happen. That's like my very... I failed, to be honest, at making a proper theory right there for the summary of the movie, but that's the order of events I think we're headed to. Now again, Doctor Strange could play a part in this, and I think he's the guy they're hiding. I think they're not showing him. I don't think I think they're saving Tom Holland Spider-Man for the next movie. So we still have a couple faces missing here. That's why the roster feels very light. They're hiding some intentionally, like Doctor Strange. And I'm telling you, bro, he's going to be helping Doctor Doom. Until a certain point, maybe. Overall, my overall opinion, my overall gist on this is, I'm excited. I'm excited, but this doesn't have the gravitas. This lacks the aura of the original films. And again, I'm going to make a whole video about why Doctor Doom is not living up to the same threat Thanos was. Why there's nothing to him compared to Thanos. Why when we see Thor try to hit him and he fails and Doctor Doom catches his hammer, well, even though it's cool, we think it's like, okay, it feels a bit forced. It feels like they're trying to convince us this is the biggest threat ever. They're going to make him as OP as possible to show you he's even beyond Thanos. See that? That's why you should watch this, right? There's something missing. And I'm going to get to that. But overall, it's a good trailer. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good trailer. Did it interest me more in Doomsday than before? I don't think so. And I think the leaks really did this a disservice. Let's see what the second trailer looks like, though. Who knows what they're going to... We know there's going to be one more official trailer after this. Let's see what they come up with. But I'm excited. Let's see. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood Birdman here. I was literally just about to go out to the gym, but I saw on Twitter they dropped the trailer for Avengers Doomsday, so I thought I'd give you guys a reaction for that. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter.
Is that an incursion?
Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Oh my, look at Doom. Bro, that is damn near comic accurate. I love this suit. I'm going to stop pausing. I know I pause a lot before the actual trailer goes through, but holy shit, that looks good. Man. Oh, look at Avengers Tower.
Warriors in my time.
Thor with the Fantastic Four?
Then all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one.
Oh, dude.
Scott!
Why are they fighting?
Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing.
Loki!
If we do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles.
Oh!
Presume nothing except this. If you return.
I love these two.
You will return as brothers and sisters. But mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Oh, that's the broken Mjolnir. Oh. Cap?
It's not possible.
It's Cap. Infinity Vision. Is that it? They're still just doing the timer? Okay, that was it. They didn't really show, they showed a lot, but they didn't show a lot, you know. And who was doing the voice at the beginning there? Was that Robert Downey Jr. giving us his Doctor Doom voice? That was someone speaking with an accent. I couldn't really tell if it was Robert Downey Jr. or not, but wow, dude. I think he stopped Stormbreaker with his hand like this. Let's look at that again.
That was Stormbreaker.
On my words.
Bro, he stopped it with two fingers. I thought it was just like that. All right, so okay. Okay. I'm kind of at a loss for words here. For those of you who do not know, Doctor Doom is my favorite villain. So Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Venom is my favorite comic book character overall. That's Marvel, DC, Image, doesn't matter. And then Doom is my favorite villain. Now, Doom has, moments where he's an anti-hero, but most often is an antagonist, is a villain. He's the rival of Reed Richards. His ego is out of this world, and I think that's what makes him charming. Look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this bullshit. He stopped Stormbreaker with two fingers. Now, I know some of y'all are going to be like, is Dr. Doom that powerful? Yeah. Thor is that guy. Dr. Doom is also that guy. His power is magic. He uses magic and technology, and that is what allows him to go toe to toe with a god like Thor. They've clashed, a couple of times in the comics, and it usually goes back and forth. Thor has, the god blast, and he has his immense power. He also is using magic. And then, Victor Von Doom is using magic and technology to match that. So they've gone back and forth, and this is what makes Doom incredibly dangerous, is that this could even just be a Doom bot. If you don't know anything about Doom, they always think they've defeated Doom in the comics, and it's always a Doom bot. one of his robots. So this could be Doom. This could be a Doom bot. Who knows? But yeah, man, he stopped Stormbreaker with 2 fingers. Thanos couldn't even do that. I remind you, Thor threw Stormbreaker through the Infinity Gauntlet. It beat the Infinity Gauntlet and went right into Thanos' chest. This motherfucker stopped it with 2 fingers. This is letting you know how much of a badass this guy is. Let's go through this trailer a little bit more, though. So here, just from the way that this looks like an incursion. And this is why the Illuminati was formed in the comic books, is these realities are crashing into each other. And they mentioned that, I believe, in Multiverse of Madness. I think they mentioned the incursions in Multiverse of Madness of how these realities are crashing into each other.
An incursion occurs when the boundary between 2 universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
And it looks like that here. Now, I could totally be wrong. I don't know the movie. The movie isn't out for another 5 months.
Right.
I'm just a guy. But that's what this looks like to me. It looks like an incursion. And I'm wondering how they're going to bring everybody together, because they're all in different realities, no? The X-Men are in the Deadpool universe. And we saw that with the TVA in Deadpool 3. So I'm wondering, is the incursion is how we're gonna, transfer to the different realities.
Something we may not be able to deter.
And when I'm looking at here, let me go back just a couple frames. What I'm looking at here looks like the far future, obviously, in that universe, and Xavier's school has been ransacked. There's debris all on the ground. I wonder what actually happened to the X-Men in this universe. Did the Sentinels come and fuck everybody over? I hope that I want this movie to be long so that we get a lot of this information. I want this to be incredibly dense. I don't think that this movie should have any downtime, right? You have so many characters, so many things to explain, that I think that this should just be pure adrenaline action all the way through. And obviously they're going to have some of the smallest, quieter moments. But what I mean is, I want to know what's going on with the X-Men. I want to know what's going on with the Fantastic Four, why they're in our universe. We thought that Galactus would destroy their planet and then Reed would find some way to bring everybody over to 616. And then that's how it was going to happen. But it didn't happen that way. They actually defeated Galactus in that movie, which I was not expecting. So I want them to spend time explaining this stuff and showing us the backstory, showing us what happened. We saw a scene of Scott sitting there, doing his optic blast into the sky. Show me that. And I want it to just be packed full of moments just like that, because we've been away from the MCU for a while. Okay. We saw Shang-Chi earlier. What the fuck has been going on with him? Give me all of that. I need it. I need to be explained. I need it all to be explained. Okay. I've been missing the MCU. I need more.
Before this day is done.
Yeah. Whose voice is that? That's what look at this suit. Look at this suit.
Dude, you can't even see it much. Come on, man.
Bro, I give the MCU a lot of shit for over designing the suits. This looks perfect. Where's my encyclopedia? Give me a second. All right, I'm going to fast forward to me getting to actual Dr. Doom. All right, so here's Dr. Doom right here. This is what he looks like. Now, compare that with this. Look at it. Take it all in.
We should be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Look at that shit. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. And look at the new Avengers Tower. They're using that new Avengers logo. I'm not a huge fan of that. I like the original logo better, but it's the new Avengers. They're in the Emu building. CinemaSins calls this the Blue Jay building. says it looks like a blue jay. I've always posited that it looks like an emu. All right, so this is cool. So Thor seems to be the first contact with the Fantastic Four, which is on brand for him. You know, he was the first contact with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, that looks cool. And I like the jackets. Look at the little sporty little jacket Reed is wearing. It looks good, man. And this is so weird and amazing to me to see Thing with Thor. Like, you know, like, we've been waiting so long for these characters to be in the same universe and to all, you know, coalesce. And it's just so interesting to see these characters interact, man. This is everything I wanted, you know, back in 2012 when I went to the marathon. There was a marathon in May 2012 that I went to where they showed all 6 MCU movies up to that point. And you know, it was the first time we were seeing all these characters on screen together. And this is giving me those vibes. And it's taken this long. Dog, that was 14 years ago, bro. And it's taken this long. But I mean, we're here now, man. And I'm really happy to see this. This is so amazing, dude. And Ant-Man is here. That's cool. All right. So yeah, so we got the new Avengers. You got Alexei, you got his fucking shield is still tacoed, by the way. They've never fixed that. That's so funny. But I'm noticing someone is missing here. Can you guess before I say it? Oh, you know what? I was wrong. He's right there in the corner. Sentry is, I was just going to say Sentry is missing from this, but Bob is on. Okay, I'm pointing the wrong way, but for me, it's this way. For you guys, it's the far corner. You can see his little flip-flops behind, not Captain America. And, you know, Thor is giving a speech here saying, he's more stronger than all of us put together. I don't know about that. Sentry is sitting right there, buddy. I actually want to see Sentry interact with Thor in a sort of antagonistic, moment. I want to see them kind of, you know, measure up against each other. I think this has been one of the biggest missed opportunities actually with the MCU is in the comic books, in the early comic books, I want to say like the 60s, maybe 70s, they would do feats of strength against each other. I feel like we could have had moments like that where we prove who's the strongest. We prove who's the fastest. And then, you know, we can stop having these debates online. I was just having a debate last night about, you know, Bucky versus Captain America, who's stronger, Bucky. But like those little moments would be so fun for the audience. You know, you could put them in a TV show. They don't even have to be a show. They could just be like a one shot where it's like some little Olympic games between the guys and who can lift the most, who runs the fastest, putting the powers against each other, like whose magic is better. You know, like little things like that would be super dope for the audience. And it could, you know, dispel a lot of the conversations like, oh, who's stronger, who's faster. I don't know. I'm just, you know, spitballing. That's what I would do if I were in charge. I would have little moments like that. That type of stuff could be cool. But man, it's just so cool to see these characters all on the screen together. They're all standing in a way that allows you to see everybody except for Bob for some reason. So that's a little funky, but you know, this could be an audience applause moment, but this looks great. It looks great. We got my boy Namor sitting on the throne, looking all saucy. Look at that suit.
Please.
He died facing.
So
That
here it
obsession,
looks like
goddammit.
the Wakandans are
Yeah.
coming to ask Namor for help. That's what it looks like here. And then they all like got ready to fight someone. I don't remember who that was. Let's take a look.
Enemies.
So why are the Wakandans? Okay, so it looks like the new Avengers on the left. And then also, so new Avengers, and then also the Fantastic Four here. And they're mad that they're there. Which is weird because, you know, in the last film, they all kind of, it was like a tenuous sort of, you know, they pieced it up a little bit. But I don't know why they're so antagonistic here. Maybe they're looking at the Thing and they're like, what the fuck is that? I wanted to see what this statue was. I couldn't get a good pause on it. Let me try again. Because I'm going to be honest with you, it looked like Ebony Maw. Who is that? I can't get it to pause clearly. I'm just going to say it's Ebony Maw. Fuck it. Yeah, I really can't tell who that is.
Less.
than this one.
And right there, that looked like the Sanctum Sanctorum getting blown up. Or is this the school? This looks like Xavier's school. Look at Scott. Hell yeah. But like one thing I don't like, or two things I don't like about this suit. I am so happy that they did the blue and yellow. Okay. Number one. But number two, I don't like the visor not matching. I want that visor to be yellow. And he needs to be wearing the yellow underpants on the outside. Okay. We just proved that it worked with Superman. Give Scott his panties. And I really want to know why these two are fighting. Like, what the fuck's going on with y'all, man? It's a good fight, too. But, like, I would say Shang-Chi got this. You know, Gambit is powerful, but Shang-Chi is that dude.
Everything that they suck.
And Loki, man. So he's not sitting on the throne holding the realities together? Because that's where we last left him. Look at this, man. Where they first meet the Fantastic Four. Look at the Dora Milaje looking like the beasts that they are. It looks like Man-Ape is the king of Wakanda. Remember, at the end of Wakanda Forever, he actually challenges for the throne, and Shuri wasn't there. She decided to go to Haiti to go see T'Challa too. So, looks like our my boy M'Baku is the king of Wakanda. Look at this scene. Look at the robot above me. The little cutie pie.
Decide your petty squabble.
Mystique. Yes. And here's the thing. There's going to be some hullabaloo about her suit because it's, how do I say, not as sexy as her comic book outfit, but it is an homage to it. Look at it. Like, pay attention. The blue is obviously not her skin, but it gives you the look of her original costume. Gives you a bit of it. I'll be honest with you. I would prefer the original costume. Let these characters be sexy. I don't have a problem with sexy characters. You know, I'm not one of those guys that, oh, it's not sexy, so it's woke. Like, I don't care about that. You know, for me, it is, I want these characters to look like themselves. And that's why I said, give Scott his panties. It's good to see Rebecca back. It would have been funny if they brought Jennifer Lawrence, but you know, I like to see the OGs, let them get their little swan song. You know, they did have a little, a goodbye in Deadpool 3, but it's nice to see them here. And it's good to see these X-Men characters interact with the MCU, man. We've waited so long, bro. Damn. And she's fighting Black Widow.
I presume nothing is.
Ian McKellen, you know, this is great. I'll be honest with you, though. I would have liked to have seen Michael Fassbender. I would like to see the younger X-Men in these roles because they're older now. It's been some years, you know. They would fit in the MCU better, I think. That way you can move forward with them. You don't necessarily have to recast a lot of people. Obviously, you're going to need like a new Wolverine and you're going to need maybe a new Scott. Love the older ones. Don't get me wrong. It's great to see these guys. I'm just saying they could have moved forward in the MCU is what I'm trying to say. Hey, that's Scott's daughter. Okay. I wonder why she's not fighting. She could be a part of this. She was in Ant-Man. She helped defeat Kang. So yeah, you know, bring her into the fold. Why not? Why is he kissing her goodbye? Like, she's a fucking fighter, bro. You need to be there. Who's Johnny Ho? I think it's his sister.
Has brothers and sisters.
The real Captain America. I'm kidding. It's good to see Sam in a leadership role. God, man. I'm liking how all of this is coalescing. This is just great. It's good to see these characters. I don't know. I guess I've been missing the MCU, man. This is all making me feel good.
Just a fucking faggot.
Woo! Look at that optic blast, bro. And those do look like sentinels in the background, by the way. But like, let me just ask y'all, wouldn't this scene go harder if Scott was wearing his panties?
The Mark my words.
That nigga Namor was flying like Iron Man right there. Hardest scene in the trailer. I have to come back to it. Look at that shit. Jesus.
We're going to need a miracle.
And Captain America.
Hey, pal. It's not possible.
I have some thoughts about this. I have some thoughts, or rather a theory, not a scientific theory. I think this is the Cap that went back to return the stones, the gems, to their rightful place. I think this is that Cap. I think this is the Cap a little bit after he went back with Peggy, and he's come back to this time because he's worthy here. Now, maybe Cap has always been worthy. Maybe Cap is worthy in every universe. Could be. I think this is that Cap. That would make a whole lot of sense for this specific scene. It would make sense in terms of not having to introduce us to an alternate version of Cap. Maybe he's just able to come back. He used the Pym particle. He had a bit of Pym particle. Because remember, he never came back, right? Like he came back as an old guy. I'm trying to figure out how Cap came back there. I don't remember off the top of my head if this was ever explained how old Steve returned in Endgame, but I'm thinking he still had some Pym particle left and he came back to help here.
Yeah.
I don't know how he would know to come back to help here, but that's just my theory. So those are my quick thoughts. I really got to get to the gym. I'm like 40 minutes late. But wow, this looks great. I'm excited for it. I already got my ticket. So hell yeah, brother. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We only got 5 more months and then it's Doomsday. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I don't know how my reaction sounds. I gotta work on my audio. Okay. I was gonna do a walk up. I love that camera, but I'm not Tower Magnus. So I'm gonna check out the official trailer to Avengers Doomsday, which is scheduled to come out this September. It buff a little bit. I'm excited though. I'm not sure I'm gonna have time to do it because I don't want to do 10:15. That's kind of late, and that's not gonna. That's kind of too early. What film have I seen? Oh, what did I see now? 27. That was 6. Huh, I came 7. I might go see in the as you can see here. I already see it says Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. So you already see the X-Men is going to be involved in this somehow. Let's see. Let's see if let's see how it looks. Okay.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
5, 6, 11.
I've fought with many warriors in my time.
Because it is Avengers. I just remembered it's Avengers. My bad. I'm not trying to break it down or anything, but we got the Falcon. We've got Winter Soldier, Ant-Man. We just saw the Fantastic Four. So they're trying to pull together the most recent movies that we've had come out. These past 2 years. All the movies that people have been bitching about, Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, and they were bitching about Thunderbolts, but Thunderbolts hinted at being the new Avengers because it had an asterisk, which is like a little star at the end of Thunderbolts, letting you know that the title of that is not official. And you see at the ending credit scenes of Thunderbolts, they're called the Avengers. So hopefully we'll see Yelena again. I love Yelena. Ever since Black Widow, the movie, I loved Yelena. That's the first time you actually meet her, but because I thought she was pretty funny. So anyway,
You're far stronger than all of us put together.
Yep. See, you got Ghost. You've got I forgot his name, the Red Shield guy. You got Discount, Steve Rogers, Captain America here. Of course, you got Yelena, the only Black Widow that you have when you got the Fantastic Four standing off to the side. And I already mentioned this. You got Thor. You got a Thunder with his axe, Stormbreaker. So I forgot his name. It's kind of funny because in Thunderbolts, there's a character, I think, Falcon. She doesn't know who he is. I can't think of it right now, but he's another funny character.
Together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Everything that they say.
I'm excited to see Gambit again. I loved him in Deadpool,
Sacrifice will be for nothing.
Okay, what's that about?
If we do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles. Presume nothing except this. If you return.
We got a new Mystique.
You will return as brothers and sisters. Mark my words.
That's Tony Stark's character. He's Doctor Strange. Not Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom. I'm sorry. Doctor Doom. I said Doctor Strange. I'm sorry.
Going to need a miracle. Hey, pal. It's not possible.
No, it does matter. Get up, man. The OG! Steve Rogers, during Avatar: Fire and Ash, there was all these new Avenger trailers. The first one was actually Steve Rogers. The second one was Thor. They didn't release the rest, but as a trailer checker, I have been like scheduled to check on certain trailers, and I'd see these new trailers come out along with everybody else. I'm no different, but you know, I'm supposed to check that certain ones have played, and they would always give me a list of ones to pay attention to. Make sure you put down or check for this trailer that says it's played. And I say that because what's that movie that came out? The Odyssey. Sorry, I didn't mean it. During the Odyssey, there was a certain one that Doom I was supposed to check for, but I didn't see that. But I did notice it during the IMAX release.
If you're not occupying again.
Look, they got a fucking countdown, man. I'm excited though. I can't wait, man. But I don't want to get my hopes up. But I can see people already bitching about it because it's not going to be like Avengers, all the Avengers. It's going to be completely different. And I really don't want to hear. I do want to hear what they have to say. But if people keep bitching about it, like, oh, it's not the original Avengers, Tony Stark and Black Widow and Hulk. Ladies and gentlemen, the thing about this is obviously that entire arc has been done. It ended after Endgame, so let's let that go. But thank God we have Tony, we have Steve Rogers and Thor, two of the OGs. I know people it's gonna take people time to get used to the Thunderbolt Avengers. That is Yelena and the Red Guardian. That's his name. The Red Guardian. Sorry, I forgot his name. That's David Harbour's character. Yeah. Anyway, as well as the Winter Soldier, which we kind of people have been wanting the Winter Soldier to be a part of the Avengers anyway. Ever since the Winter Soldier, people are like, when is the Winter Soldier going to team up with Captain Steve Rogers in the Avengers? Because in the comic book somewhere he kind of joins them in a way. You know, it was hinted at that he would be the new Captain America, but of course that title went to Anthony Mackie's character. The Falcon, I forget his actual name. I'll remember it later. Anyway, let me know what you all think. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe if you like, and let me know what you think in the comments. Are you looking forward to this? Should we get our hopes up about it? Should we just wait? Is this going to revive people's faith in the MCU or Marvel, with all the superhero slop that we've had so far? Not that every film has been slop. I personally loved Thunderbolts. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. Alright, till then, see you next time. This is that countdown. Start of January. They're gonna keep it streaming on a server for this fucking long, man. Anyway.